Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell. Welcome to the Dice Tower. What you're about to see is a werewolf game, and this one is one that was not run by me or I even participated in, but I wanted to put them up here for folks to see different styles of werewolf games. I moderate them on our Facebook channel, Dice Tower Werewolf. You can find that on Facebook, a group there that you can join. And there are werewolf games that happen almost every night that you can jump in and play on these games. And so I post the ones that I host on our channel, but this is one hosted by somebody else. There's all different games you will see as time goes by. So let's get started. You're going to watch the game and see what happens here. I'll let the moderator explain all the rules and what's going on. Here we go.
Hello, welcome to another fun werewolf game. Draco's here as well, and he's ready. Draco will be helping me out a little bit because I am moderating. I'm not used to moderating, so this will go, well, somewhat. I hope it will work out nicely and not too much chaotic. Well, at least I want chaos, but not for me. I want chaos for you guys playing. So I am going to go over the roles to start, and then I'll also go over how this game will work, because I will do something new here, the new structure to how the game works, which is interesting to try out. I have no idea how well it will work, but we'll try it. So first of all, we will have a bunch of villagers. I won't tell you how many. They are plain villagers. They don't know anything, and some people think it's fun. I think it's kind of boring to be one, but some people like them. Then we will have some villager roles. So we will have some classic roles. We'll have a hunter. When the hunter dies for whatever reason, they get to kill someone straight away without any input from anyone else. Then we will have a seer. Everybody knows the seer. Wakes up every night, can check someone. We'll get a werewolf or not a werewolf. Okay. Then we will have the bodyguard. The bodyguard will wake up first during the nights and will get to protect someone. That person will be protected from the werewolves they try to kill. Bodyguard cannot protect the same person back to back, 2 nights back to back. They have to switch it up. Then we're going to have the baby dragon. Baby dragon is a baby dragon. So basically it's not that strong, so it can't survive forever, but it has 2 lives. So if the werewolves target the baby dragon during the night, nothing will happen the first time. And the baby dragon will just get a message from me saying, okay, you lost a life. Then if it happens again, it will die. Same goes.
Does that only help him at night?
No, the same goes for the day. Like, basically, the first time you try to hang a baby dragon, you realize you can't hang it. It's too cute. So then so nothing happens. We go straight to night, and I'll just say, well, nobody died, even if you voted someone else. And then it's the baby dragon, obviously. It's like the prince of the games. And so it has 2 lives in total. So, like, if you try to vote it out once, then they spent one of their lives. They can be killed during the night.
They're a villager, so in theory, if we kill them, then we would know not to kill them.
Yeah, but then the werewolves can kill them. So
sure.
Yeah. All right, then we will have, and this is in honor of my favorite player, Gwommy, who's actually here as well, so it's going to be interesting. So we will have the Gwommy man. The Gwommy man can't really decide what to be. Yeah, they have a lot of roles, and they can't decide which role they want to be, actually. So they will switch up every night. So every night, I will show you, if you're the Gwommy man, there's 5. I made 5 of the thingies. So every night, I will pull out 2 of them randomly, and I will show them, like, for instance, these 2 says protect and sleep. And then the Gwommy man will give me thumbs up for the top one or thumbs down for the bottom one. It could be protect, it could be sleep, like this. Sleep means nothing happens. It could also be kill, and it could be see. So kill is basically you kill someone right away. See is like the seer, you see someone. Protect is like the bodyguard. But we also have a 5th one, which is nominate. And this is going to make more sense soon when I explain how the game structure works. Because if the Gwommy man gets this and chooses it, then they will instantly get to nominate someone for the next day. And that's going to be a lot stronger than it usually is in our werewolf game. Okay, so that's the Gwommy man. Then we will have a Frankenstein. A Frankenstein is going to be a little bit weaker than we are used to, simply because we need some balance, right? So Frankenstein will become the first role that dies from the village. It's not going to take on every role, which doesn't make sense thematically, because then why is it called Frankenstein? But anyway, that's basically going to be a backup. So if the seer dies first, then it's going to become the seer. If the hunter dies first, it's going to become the hunter. Same goes for the bodyguard and for the Gwommy man. So whoever, because I don't want it to become Gwommy man and hunter and bodyguard and seer. That seems powerful.
What about the baby dragon?
No, the baby dragon is just there's only one baby dragon in the village, so can't copy it. Okay, then we have 2 village roles that I made up like 10 minutes ago. I hope they will be fun, and they are very passive roles. One of them used to be called the village idiot, but I think it's not nice to call idiots. Instead, I'm gonna call it village pessimist. The pessimist always have to vote down. Okay. But to balance that, we're also going to have the village optimist that always has to vote up. So yeah, you can try to, in some ways, figure out who those persons are, because, you know, at the end of the game, it might be a problem to have someone that always votes up or always votes down. We'll see how that goes.
Are they allowed to say they are those roles?
No. They don't want to come out with like their view of the world, so they're keeping quiet about it. Okay. So then we will go to the werewolf team. We will have a unknown number of werewolves. One of the werewolves will be a Gwommy wolf. Again, hard to decide what they want to do, what they want to be. So they will, the first night, before we sort of start playing basically, they will wake up. They will get to see 2 out of 4 options, and they can pick one of those 2 options to be for the rest of the game. The four things they could be, so the village doesn't know what's in, because the four things that they could be is a rabid wolf. If they become a rabid wolf, then if you nominate, and like if you kill the rabid wolf, you nominate or second rabid wolf and it gets killed that day, then one of those 2 persons, the nominator or the seconder, randomly will become another werewolf. It could be a wolf man. It could be a wolf cub. Oh, I should say the wolf man looks like a villager to the seer. So it could become a wolf cub. The wolf cub, if the wolf cub dies, then the next night the werewolves will get to kill 2 people. Or it could become a werewolf hunter. Basically, if you die, then you get to kill someone else. That's the thing. But of course, it's only going to be one of these 4 that are in the game.
I missed one of them. I got wolf cub, wolf man, wolf hunter,
and rabid wolf.
Rabid wolf.
Yep. And that's the one where the nominator or the seconder becomes a werewolf?
Yeah.
So the Gwommy man changes their role every night. The Gwommy wolf picks their role once and keeps it.
Yeah, because if you're a Gwommy werewolf, then you sort of decide and then you go with it. If you're a Gwommy person, then you can never decide and you keep changing back and forth. So, yeah. So then we will also have a unknown number of lichens. I always like the lichen. The lichen looks like a werewolf to the seer, and I always think it's boring when one lichen is gone. Then it's like, oh, we got rid of the lichen. So there could be more lichens. Who knows? And of course, if you're a lichen, I will only tell you that you're a villager. So you don't know if you're a villager that is really hairy and looks like a werewolf, or a shaved villager. All right, that's the role list. I don't think I've forgotten anything. So again, I don't know about balance and all that. Maybe it's too strong to have the Frankenstein. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I got a quick question, Joseph. Does the Gwommy man, if they get the 2 options, kill, right? If they choose to kill, if the werewolves killed the baby dragon and the Gwommy man killed the baby dragon the same night, is that their 2 lives?
Yeah, then they die. I'm gonna count it as that.
The lichens, are they only just plain villagers, or can they also have a role?
It's only plain villagers, just to make my life easier. Actually, I think it's more fun if this could be like I don't know. But we'll just do it. I wrote it down as normal villagers. So, I'm gonna start handing out roles, and then, you know, have a chat about it. And if you have any questions to ask me, I'll try to do it simple.
You said there was a different structure for nominations.
Oh yeah, maybe I should explain that right away, actually. That's true. So, in like every werewolf game we played, you have 3 nominations each day, and then what happens is that everyone knows, sort of, that we're not going to kill anyone on the first nomination. We're just doing it for information. So that kind of makes it a little bit boring in my mind, and like I think I know a lot of you agree on that. So instead, what we're going to do is going to have 2 nominations each day, and it's going to work like this. So just to, like, give an example here. Let's say Cynthia nominates Alex daily, and Connor seconds it. Then Alex is a candidate for that day. Then maybe Paul nominates Lucas, and Gwommy seconds it. That means Lucas is the second candidate. As soon as we have 2 candidates, everyone is going to vote. One of them is going to die. So we will never have a day when nobody dies. So, from my thinking is basically, if you're a werewolf, you're the first nominee. Maybe you want to try to nominate someone else that you think the village suspects more than you, so that's the person that's going to die, and so on. We'll see how it plays out, but it's.
How does that voting look? So let's
it's
say
just like a normal vote. Like basically, I'm gonna say up is Connor, down is Alex.
Okay, gotcha.
And so when the Gwommy man decides to nominate as one of the options, will you mute everyone and he chooses who to nominate as soon as the day begins?
He just writes down whatever he wants. Oh, this is the nominee, and then when the day starts, I'm gonna say, oh, good morning, and actually we already have a nominee, and that's this person, and now we gotta find another one that up against. And also, whoever gets nominated and survives, the person that doesn't die that day will be immune the next day. That person cannot be a nominee the next day.
Oh, cool.
So again, maybe the werewolves want to get one of the other werewolves nominated, because if they think it's not going to die, then it's going to be immune the next day. We'll see how it goes. It's also going to mess with the seer coming out, because the seer might come out say someone.
What if the votes are tied for both of them?
Oh, that's a good question. How do we
vote again? Give
both
defenses
die.
and vote
Both
again.
die.
No, we're gonna basically have to do a revote.
And you vote
First
third
person
party.
to change their
We
mind.
could do like a.
You
Actually,
could just flip a coin.
I'm gonna go with this. If it's tied, nobody dies.
Or we wait till somebody
Ooh.
changes their mind.
No. If it's tied, nobody dies. It's the easiest one. So then we just go to sleep. Nobody dies. So there
Okay.
is an option. There is a
Okay.
chance that
So
nobody
then,
dies.
we go into the night phase.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, so the one person gets nominated, seconded, and then they do their defense, and then we just wait for another person to get nominated and seconded?
No, I'm
Close.
thinking they do the defense after. No, when we have 2 candidates, the first
After
candidate
both.
makes their defense, and then the second. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because your defense might be specific to, I know
Against the other
that this
person.
person's more suspicious than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And start
I'm
arguing
guessing
with each
one
other, basically.
person can't make both nominations.
I'm sorry, Paul. What did you say?
One person can't make both nominations, I'm guessing.
Correct.
That's a good idea as well.
Okay.
What about seconds? You can make both seconds?
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, you have to go with that. Otherwise, I have to keep track of. just having that, you can't nominate twice in a day.
One last question, Joseph. When we get down to a certain number, how's that going to look? Are we still getting 2 people every single time?
Yeah, until we are 3, then we're just gonna. Then everyone just writes a name, shows at the same time.
And you said the
Sorry,
person who survives, you said, is immune from being nominated the next day, right?
Yeah.
In the case of that tie, are they both immune or neither one immune or something like
Nobody's immune.
that? Okay.
I'm just making this up as I go, but we never tried the system, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So is it like the cultist game, Joseph, where we can nominate a bunch of people and
No.
then we vote for the 2 we want, or just the first 2 people
The
no
first
matter
2,
what?
the first 2 that are nominated and second. So you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful than usual. You can't just nominate a second. I just want to hear him talk. So that might change up the meta a bit. I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad, but we'll see.
Okay.
So in a
Are we doing like a time limit?
Gwommy-themed game, you've destroyed the Gwommy second.
I know. I'm sorry.
I can
Gwommy.
still second. I don't know
He
what you're
can still
talking
second.
about.
Nobody stops him from.
Yeah,
And
just because they're going to die doesn't mean you won't second people.
No. That's not gonna stop Gwommy.
I might
you
even still
doing-
nominate myself.
I'm not doing any time. I'm just gonna go by
Okay.
like if it takes too long, I'm just gonna start pestering you with like, come on, nominate someone. I'm not doing a
Joseph, you
set
still-
time.
You still need to write down who nominates in seconds because the Rabbit Wolf might be in the game.
Right.
You have to keep
Oh,
track
that's
That
of
is true.
Yeah. Okay.
And you should tell us who is the nominee in the second for that,
Yeah.
because we need to know who could have turned.
You're right about that as well. Thank you. All right. Well, this is a bit of an experiment, and it's probably not the smart that I'm doing it since I'm not used to moderating. But yes. So I'm gonna say that we can't go with Daniel because it's been 29 minutes, so he should have shut up by now. So we have 16 And I have 16 here, so I'm going to start handing out rolls, and yeah.
So there is no reason for the baby dragon not to come out, right? Because the werewolves won't target him, and we won't kill him.
That's up to them.
Well, I think he's
Yeah.
just group thinking.
Protect their lives.
It sounds right.
But if it does come out, that's one less target for the werewolf to find a seer.
It's good to have them in because they'll never know if that's a bodyguard save or a Gwommy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
just
true.
better to have that in for that purpose.
Yeah, it makes the nights much more difficult for the werewolves.
Unless I'm a werewolf, then you can come out and.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So, Joseph, when we vote, will the first nominee always be the thumbs up and second nominee be the thumb? I'm just thinking for the optimist and the pessimist. Like if I was the optimist, if I had someone I wanted, I needed to make them
Oh
the
God.
first.
Oh yeah.
I need to nominate them
That
first
is
so I
interesting.
can give them the thumbs
Oh
up.
yeah.
Right?
I didn't think
those rolls
about
don't
this.
work so much.
The optimist and the pessimist
Yeah, I
is
didn't
actually
think
not.
about
They're like the I hate the first person and I hate the second person.
No, to make it even more fun, I'm going to randomize that.
Okay.
So like when we have two nominees, I roll the die and I'll say, okay, well, this is going to be up, this is going to be down.
So we're never going to be able to figure out who's who.
No,
Nope.
no,
Okay.
that's even
Oh
more
my
fun.
God.
Good luck.
So you have to send out 2 messages before every vote.
What?
This
No,
is a
he'll
Gwommy
he'll
game,
say
so
this
it's-
person
yeah.
is up and this person is down, but not before the nominations. So the people themselves can't control who they're voting for.
He's not randomizing which way the optimist.
Oh, I see. I get it.
Yeah.
I think you should do it that way. It's more difficult.
Oh, that would be crazy.
All I know is this is going to be a totally smooth by the numbers werewolf game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And
Can
the
we
moderator
throw in
will
a
make
few
no
letters
mistakes.
just in case?
What?
I don't want to go just by numbers. I want to throw in a couple letters too.
Oh,
You
yeah,
have
we should
ghosts
have
now?
letters.
Yeah.
So I missed about the randomization of optimist and pessimist. How does it work again?
No, you get a roll saying you're the pessimist. That means you always have to vote down. But you don't know what that means. That means you might always try to kill a certain person, but you don't even know that. Up ahead.
You basically have no way of knowing who you're killing.
It's more
Until
like
they're
the
nominated.
butter battle. I like to have my thumb side down.
There's the two
Your votes are
nominations,
worthless.
and then after both people are nominated, he'll say who is the upvote and who is you vote down to kill, and who you vote up to kill. And so, if you're the optimist or the pessimist, you don't know who you're voting for until
That
he
isn't-
randomizes it after the nominations.
Right. Okay.
So we
So
really
Adam
want
was
to kill
asking
them
if
off.
the first person is up, if you're the optimist, you want to control and make the first person the suspicious person. So you're not going to be able to do that in the way he's made it.
So basically, it could be like when people ask, "Oh, but Lucas, why did you vote to kill Gwommy instead of Jojo?" Then you can't say that it's because you're the pessimist. So.
Oh, I can say it.
No, you can't say that you're
He said you
optimistic.
can't.
I can't.
This is one of those things where if you say it, you get automatically killed.
Yeah. We'll
Just
have
don't
to-
do it.
Yeah,
At the
we'll have to do
discretion
that.
of the storyteller.
Basically, it's just you can't claim the role. Which is
Nige, you look so scary.
Sorry?
You look so scary in
It
your.
looks like the Grudge.
I know. I'm in another room and it's just so much darker. I've tried so many things to fix the lights, but this is as bright as I can get it.
You don't have a
Jason,
phone?
who just has his like
Huh?
phone flashlight on,
You-
so when he types.
Yeah, use
like,
your phone
shines
on,
in
or
his
use
screen.
flashlight on your phone.
I tried that, but it's not. It's
Oh, really?
like
Works for Jason.
it's not really helping.
That would be scarier, like under here, like.
Yeah, please don't do it.
Yeah, I'm sending out the rolls now, so I hope I don't mess this up.
I'll just pull that out every time I'm nominated.
I just hope that Gwommy is not the Gwommy man.
He'll like.
I hope
this-
Gwommy's
this
not the
works
Gwommy wolf.
Years out, and he would choose kill and then kill the seer.
Oh no, we gotta kill him.
Oh, can the Gwommy man choose to protect the same person, or is it the same as the bodyguard?
The Gwommy man doesn't have any rules. He's just doing whatever he feels like. So if he gets to protect twice, then he protects twice. He can.
So he could protect a werewolf forever.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Okay.
If protect keeps coming up for him.
Yeah, exactly. It's 5 options. You only get to see 2 of them. So now I was almost about to type someone's name to someone.
Yep, that's my name, all right. Thanks.
No, that's not what I meant.
If the Gwommy man becomes the werewolf, because say they nominate the rabbit, do they still get their nightly actions, or are they just a werewolf at that point?
I'm trying to do 2 things at the same time here. It's kind of hard. So can you please repeat that?
If the Gwommy man becomes a wolf because they nominate the rabbit, do they still get to keep their nightly Gwommy man actions?
No, they're a werewolf after that.
If you turn, you're not whatever you were before. Okay.
Well, it's Gwommy man, so I didn't know what you were going to do with it.
Actually, it could have been. So. It could have been that he just wins them, just instantly.
No.
And he gets like a diploma from me with a frame and everything. That would have been fun.
So Gwommy, how does your win record look?
How does my what look?
Your win record or lose record?
Oh my! Yeah, still looking pretty good. 2 of 13.
All right. So I have. Did everyone get a roll?
I'm not sure I got enough rolls.
I should ask you. Did someone not get a roll? That's the better question. Yeah, I'll send you a few more, Gwommy, just to make sure.
Thank you.
I'll just make something up.
Okay, cool.
Like the machine gunner and. Right. Well, I think if everybody got the rolls, I think we're ready to get going. And of course, I'll just ask you all to go to sleep. I'm gonna mute everyone as well.
Mute.
I'm really good at telling people to do it, so. Right. Welcome to the Gwommy village, the village of a lot of people that can't really decide what they want to do with their lives, and they're all confused, and they're all having a good time while they're making other people confused. So I think you will all have a good time tonight as well. I hope so. So we're going to start off with Gwommy Wolf. So if the Gwommy Wolf will wake up and tell me, I'm just going to randomize this. So do you want to be the top option or the bottom option? All right. So let me just make a note. I might be a little bit slower than Adam and Connor and all those professional moderators, but you'll just have to bear with me. So thank you, Gwommy Wolf. Then, just for the sake of it, let's have the bodyguard wake up. So I know that you know that you are. And bodyguard, go to sleep. And we are going to have the Gwommy man wake up. So you are going to get options here randomly. And again, you will tell me, do you want to do the top part or the bottom part? Right, you want to do that. And then you will tell me the consequence of that. Whatever I'm letting you do. Right, thank you. You can go to sleep, Gwommy man. And we're going to have the werewolves wake up and just say hi to each other. So please wake up, do a little wave and so on so that you see each other. And yeah. I was almost going to say good luck, but I don't want to say that to the evil werewolves. I'm on the village team, obviously. No. Then we're going to have the seer wake up. And who do you want to see? Thank you. And everyone can wake up and, well, good morning. You can unmute yourself. And I hope you will have a fun game with this new system. So again, I will remind everyone, you can nominate someone. If that gets a second by someone else, then the person you nominated or second, well, the person that was nominated will become a candidate. When we have 2 candidates, we're going to do a vote and one of them will die. Or if you tie it, then nobody will die. And whoever don't die, if there's like one person dying, the other one doesn't die, that person is also immune for the next day. So have fun with it.
So I have a thought. Based on the 4 possible werewolf choices for the Gwommy wolf, I'm trying to think of like a pecking order of like which one would most likely be chosen. Like if I was that person,
that down.
I'd say Wolfman or Rabid Wolf
would be the best.
Yeah.
And the next one I think personally would be the Wolfman.
Both of those are my top
Rabid,
2.
Wolf Cub, Wolfman, Werewolf Hunter.
I would take the
Wolfman.
Wolfman
One.
because being checked early, like that's a very good one. Definitely Connor would pick that.
So I'm thinking if we play the game almost like there is a Rabid Wolf or a Wolfman. I mean, there's a chance that neither of those were shown, but if we play a game like that, that's kind of how there's no way
That's
to
what
know.
I was planning to do.
I'm thinking we definitely need
think it really
the Rabid
depends
Wolf in
on
mind
whoever
at all
chose it.
times.
Yeah, it depends on the person that got it, because
But those seem most
they may not have thought through all that.
Well, we've got 3 options that require them to die, and 1 option that kind of persists.
We'll know if it's the Werewolf Hunter. Will we know?
I feel like that would not have been picked. That seems like a terrible choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We won't
No,
actually know if it's.
I don't think anybody would pick that one.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll know
We'll
if
find out
like,
if
the
it's Wolf
bodyguard
Cub, I
doesn't get
think.
the 2
No, we won't.
Just
Because of Gwommy Man, there could be.
Oh, right.
Now,
So Gwommy Man would have to come out or something like that. Same with if they get checked and the seer sees that they're a villager, they would have to come out and say, I saw them as a villager, so they picked Wolfman. But
I can't tell you how hard it was during the night to not wake up when ever Joseph said my name.
Oh yeah, I should have pointed that out up ahead. Don't wake up on me every time I say your name.
Whoops. The fact too that there could potentially be 2 seers, the Wolfman probably would be the most obvious one if you have that choice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Rabid Wolf is probably the best option.
I'd
Rabid Wolf
Wolfman
would
first.
make the village job much
Wolfman
more
probably
difficult.
Yeah, but listen, the Wolfman, I mean, the seer might not ever check the Wolfman. We just might get lucky and vote the Wolfman out. Like the Rabid Wolf, you are guaranteeing to turn somebody.
At this point,
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
know
think there's
who.
any point in arguing which is better because, like, whoever is the person who chose it is on one of the sides. Like, we're not going to change their mind now, and it doesn't matter if we did.
No, but we're trying to figure out what's
Yeah,
most
how-
likely
why
so
don't
that
we wanna
can play a
suppress
certain way.
information?
Half of the people think Rabid Wolf is best, and half of the people think Wolfman is best. Then
So we'll play as both of them
the
exist.
person who thought Wolfman was best was them. They would have chose Wolfman. If the person who thought Rabid Wolf was best,
It's
There
just
is
important for
value
us to
in
know
thinking
going
through.
forward so that we can factor it into our thinking.
One thing I do want to get down, the Gwommy Man, what are his choices? I have C, nominate, and protect, and there were 2 that I missed.
Kill
and sleep.
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 Just do
Basically,
nothing. I don't know
sleep
why
is
you'd
in-
ever do that.
Well, if
But
you
if
have
you don't know
kill
to
and
kill-
sleep, you might not have to kill someone.
Oh, okay, sure.
If you have
Uh,
C
ra-
and sleep, it's obviously stupid to choose.
So we won't be told if the Rabid Wolf dies that a Rabid Wolf died.
No, I'm just gonna say
Did
like
you just-
villagers and werewolves.
I think you've just given Gwommy a challenge. Now he's going to choose sleep every opportunity he has. Just because it's like, why would you do that? Oh, okay. Now I know what to do.
It's like when he had got the achievement for voting down the entire game. So are you going to say every time a werewolf dies that to check your messages in case there was a Rabid Wolf?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a harder game to nominate people now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Really
this
hard
messes
not
up
to nominate
the
people.
meta, but it's interesting.
Well, I will say the one thing in Damien's game is we could nominate like 5 people and then we would vote. So it was more than strictly just nominating 2 people.
Yeah.
But it
It's
took
getting
forever
weird right now. I know.
I don't mind this. I think the problem is that it's the first day, so no one's suspicious of anyone, which is always a problem.
It's
Who said,
doubly
who
so
said
right
no
now.
one's suspicious of anyone?
Yeah.
Does anyone
Well, there
have
is
a
another
suspicion?
problem too. Could we vote to not kill?
No.
Like,
This
so
is the
if we
In
just
theory,
choose to
we
not
could all
nominate,
say,
it's
I'm
just
gonna
never
vote
ends.
this way.
This
you
is the
vote
Gwommy
this way,
village.
and
So,
now-
like,
Yeah, I was just about to say that. There's never going to be a village with Gwommy in it. Like, where Gwommy rules that there's never going to be any killing.
if you
But then
take like
Kevin
too
Smith
long,
versus
in the end, I will have to do a tribunal.
So we do have 16 people. So if we coordinate it, we can make it the tie vote.
Right.
Good.
Yeah, but not with the optimist and the pessimist. You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you could
Because they can't.
because you know one's
Yeah.
going up, one's going down.
Yeah, but you might,
if we
you might
try
take
and
a vote
coordinate, we
to
can't
go up.
coordinate
Yeah.
them.
So they have to come out, right?
They can't.
Yeah,
they
because
can't
They can't come
the
out.
werewolves are going to.
All right,
the
yeah, they
vote.
can come out. So
Yeah.
you can't use it as a defense, right, Joseph?
No, no.
Even
You'd
if
almost
you are
have to
not,
do it the.
That's
even if you're
weird.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd almost have to do it the opposite. Like, I'm gonna vote down. Wink, wink.
I'm gonna just nominate someone because I think we probably should. I'm gonna nominate JoJo.
I
I'll
thought so.
second that.
I'll second.
Oh, thanks, everybody.
That was kind
So who nominated and who seconded?
I nominated.
second.
Connor nominated and Melissa seconded. That's what I saw, at least.
Okay.
I nominated, or I second. I can give a reason why. JoJo, I was going to nominate you possibly if this drug on too long. I understand, like, you don't want to drag it on too long talking about, like, the Wolfman versus Rabbit
Yeah.
Wolf, but I feel
That
like we
did
get a
seem
lot of
suspicious.
information.
No, here's the thing. I just want to explain.
So-
I don't think I wasn't arguing about dragging it on too long. I was arguing if Connor says Rabbit Wolf's the best choice, then if he was the wolf, he would choose Rabbit Wolf. If Lucas was the person who chose it, whose name I don't remember, Gwommy Wolf. If Lucas was the Gwommy Wolf and he thought that the best thing to choose was Wolfman, he would have chose Wolfman. If we convinced the whole village now that Rabbit Wolf would have been, in theory, the best choice, it doesn't matter because it was already picked by someone who we don't know what their opinion was.
I
So,
just
like,
think it was
are
a
we
relevant
actually
conversation that
that?
you're
Yeah.
shutting
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. And there's very little to go on, and
Yeah,
you tried
I
to
just-
suppress information.
That's what I said. It was a leaping off point.
Okay.
If we had nothing else to talk about, that was the first thing I thought we could talk about.
That was the only reason
Well,
for
I
me. I
agree.
have no other suspicions, and this could go with the 2 nomination thing. Like, this could go on.
Well, I kind of hope JoJo is the Rabbit Wolf and I turn, so I get to be a wolf.
I'm not.
Oh, do you?
Sorry.
You can't turn twice, Connor.
But,
Yeah.
but you asked not to be checked until day 2, Connor. So you haven't been checked yet.
Yeah, you're gonna be checked day 2, day
That's
3.
right.
Yeah.
You're not,
You
we're
screwed
not
this up.
accepting first.
Yep.
Yeah, Connor. Bad play.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind. Well, JoJo, since you're the one on the chopping block, do you want to see who you're going up against? Why don't you pick?
I mean, I'm not suspicious of anyone. It's the first day. You both are suspicious of me for reasonable reasons. There's like nothing. So, we could nominate someone who, like, I don't know, we like always kill, but I don't have any actual reasons to nominate anyone
Who
aside
can
from
you beat?
Bill's
Who can
not
you beat
here.
in a vote? That's what you have to decide. Who are you going to be able to?
Pick me, I'm willing to
No,
die.
you're just trying to give me enemies. I don't want that.
Alex is volunteering.
I volunteer.
Oh, okay.
No,
That's
Alright.
weird.
no,
I
that's not
nominate-
gonna go well.
I nominate Alex.
You're a weird
Oh,
Gwommy.
Yahoo nominates Alex. Is there a second for that?
Why would
No problem.
Alex?
Just for the S and J's, I'll second.
Okay, so 90 seconds.
Oh boy, what is
So,
going on here?
Yahoo nominated,
I bet.
90 second, and the target was Alex S, right? So, we're going to have our first court, whatever we're going to call it, execution block. So, you are going to vote on JoJo and Alex S. I'm going to randomize who is who. Okay, so up
Wait, we
means-
don't get a defense. I thought we got a defense.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna explain the stuff. So
Oh, okay.
Up means JoJo.
I don't
Down
want to die.
means Alex S. And since we're gonna do it this way, whoever is up is gonna get the defense first. So JoJo, you can stop.
I'm on the village team. I don't want to die, but someone's gonna have to die. So I get that. I have there's a werewolf over there who I've knocked out. So good for me. Please don't kill me. But I get it. There's like I'm not suspicious of anyone. I don't. Anyway, I'm on the village team.
Right. I guess it's time for Alex S to have a defense.
Well, I'm a simple villager without any special powers. So if you're suspicious of JoJo, vote for her. If you think she's innocent, you can vote for me.
All right.
Are you concerned?
No. It's just with this way of voting, give an option. If people are really suspicious of her, you can vote for her.
Do you have any suspicions?
You can vote for me
Alex?
because I'm claiming it won't hurt the village extraordinarily.
Do you have any suspicions?
No. Too early. It's one of those things. Sometimes we don't like to kill the first day and see what develops. We're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's not my rules. It's Gwommy who.
Who nominated Alex?
Yahoo.
Yahoo and
Yahoo?
Nigel
And
second.
then Naiji.
I seconded it.
For the record, it wasn't my idea. He volunteered. I just did the deed.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was him.
And who was the seconder for JoJo again?
Melissa.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be like strict about this because I think it's fun if you can ask questions back and forth, especially now that we have this new system. I'm just going to ask
So
you guys.
Jojo, Alex is not suspicious to you because he volunteered?
Huh?
Alex is not suspicious to you because he volunteered?
Well, he's definitely not. So here's the thing. He's either like one of the werewolf roles where it's fine for him to die, and we'll find out if he dies. Like we'll find out, and then it's much easier because if he is the rabid wolf or the wolf cub, we will know because he'll die and it'll say werewolf and it'll be obvious, which I think that makes it less likely for that to be the case because like, well, no, that's not that useful. So I feel like he might be a villager, but if I was a villager, I would not be like, put me on the block. So I don't know.
Well,
but it could go either.
Sorry.
No, what's up?
Since we're talking about it, I will say that it potentially could be put myself on the chopping block to appear less suspicious because I'm a werewolf,
right.
and we know that you're going to kill JoJo, and then on day one I was okay to die.
So y'all got to make your decision. You're welcome.
Yeah,
but I don't suspect him. I'm just aware that he could be playing mind games.
Yeah,
you also
you don't get the immunity for the second day.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I don't suspect either of them, but we just have to kill someone. That's kind of a really bad place to be in right now. But I don't think either of them are.
Well, we are even number, so we could get lucky.
One of us volunteered to be on the block. Okay, never mind.
Well, you have to do that,
One of us
Jojo.
was
Otherwise, it's
foolish, one of us
suspicious.
was not.
Okay, so let's get to some voting. So I am going to mute everyone because we are going to ignite what happens. And there we go. So again, I'm gonna remind you: up means you want to kill JoJo. Down means you want to kill Alex S. So we're going to vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. And you're gonna have to keep them there. I'm gonna have to count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't make sense. We're 16, right? Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. Okay, that makes sense. So 9 down means Alex, I'm sorry, you're dead. And Alex was a villager. And good night, everyone. And to remind you, that means that JoJo is immune next day. Get nominated. So, gotten so far. I haven't messed up yet, which I'm happy for. So let's keep this going. We are going to do night 1, basically. So we're going to start with the bodyguard. To protect. Thank you. Then we're going to have the Gwommy man. Not Gwommy, Gwommy man. So we am going to randomize this up, and you are going to get to do the top or the bottom of these two. So just let me know what you want to do. You want to do that. Okay, so what will that lead to? Thank you. Go to sleep, and we will have the werewolves. Yep. Now I'm going to keep saying werewolves the whole game instead of trying to mess it up with like werewolf or werewolves and have a lot of plural and singular things that you might get ideas from. Right, thank you, werewolves. Go to sleep. Then we're going to have the seer wake up. Who do you want to see? Thank you. So we're going to have everyone wake up. And you can, well, you don't need to unmute yourself yet, but you can do it, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go through some things here. So, yeah, nobody died. That was a good night. So, have fun with the second day. And again, you're gonna have two candidates being nominated, seconded, and then we're gonna vote on one of them. And you cannot nominate Jojo.
So either the bodyguard saved somebody or the baby dragon got targeted.
Or the Gwommy man got protected as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
I actually just thought of something, and this is going to throw major suspicion at me, but werewolves are going to want to potentially nominate each other to protect them the next night, right? Like, let's say I was a werewolf. If I wanted to keep JoJo alive, I might nominate her so she can't be killed tonight.
what you trying to
It's
say?
a risk, but you risk getting them killed either or. So
you do.
Well, that's what, right?
That's a
And
great-
like at the end of the game, that's probably useful. Like if there's 2 werewolves left and not that many villagers left, but I don't know how likely that is this early in the game.
Also depends on how many werewolves there are, right? If
Yeah,
there are only 3 werewolves, for example, you wouldn't want to put another werewolf on chopping block.
Well,
Yeah, but you have to remember there's potential like-in or like-ins in this game. So there's gonna be potential for the seer. They're gonna be checking a bunch of people and not really know for sure what there could be a wolf man. I mean, there's a lot of confusion in there for the seer in this
Yeah,
game.
and he said there could be multiple lichens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all lichens.
Yeah.
Let's hear from some people we haven't heard from.
Cynthia?
Damn, I was hoping you wouldn't call on me because I have nothing to contribute. I don't think any of us have anything to contribute at this point. I mean,
Well, you voted to kill Jojo. Why?
I did just because I figured other people had put her up, whereas Alex had put himself up. It put a little bit more suspicion on Jojo, and that was literally all I had to go on.
I'm still massively suspicious of JoJo.
I voted Alex because I thought it was like a reverse psychology type play.
Same. I thought it was trying to play for.
Like I thought,
immune
yeah,
the
I thought he
next
was
day.
like, oh, they won't suspect me because I'm volunteering, so I'm going to do this and be immune the next day.
I actually thought,
I thought maybe he was the baby dragon, so he knew he wouldn't die.
Yeah, but you'd want to keep the baby dragon power as long as you can. So you
Yeah,
can
if you're out as a baby dragon, you might die the next night from the werewolves.
I don't think
But then it also gives the bodyguard a target
Yeah,
too.
That's true.
They know who the baby dragon is.
I thought it was pretty smart of him actually to put himself up because if he was a vanilla villager, I mean, if he had a role, obviously that'd be not smart. But if he was, it meant that we had a likelihood of getting rid of somebody that was not important if we did vote for him. So I also kind of thought, well, then let's see what JoJo is, because I'm assuming he was just a vanilla villager.
Adam,
Yeah,
what
but
are
he
your
would
thoughts
also
right
protect
now?
the werewolf.
Yeah, he
He
could
would
have
protect werewolves, you know, by sacrificing himself. Because otherwise we could have Jojo and a werewolf.
I also want to say, I don't like to say if I am a plain villager or if I have a special role. I like to just say that I am on the village team so that it leaves like less, or rather more people for the werewolves to go after.
The only good thing of killing, and this is not a good thing, but like hopefully Alex was a Lycan and we don't have to worry about that. Right? Like hopefully if we are killing villagers, hopefully they're Lycans and we don't have to worry about them anymore. We'll never know.
That's true. That's one reason for killing normal villagers.
No, it's not a good thing. It's just it's not something we want to like just go out and just start killing them to get rid of Lycans, but hopefully they are the Lycan.
Well, that is a possible reason that he would have put himself up. Like if he was the
he wouldn't
Lycan,
now.
it better.
He doesn't
But
know.
Well,
if he was, say, the pessimist or the optimist, maybe he'd want to be put up to save the votes. Because
that's
that way,
possible.
there's not someone that votes the vote one way.
Yeah, because it can be detrimental in some ways.
Yeah.
Once one of
in the
them's
end.
because once one of them's gone, then one of the side is more lopsided, because if they're both in the game, they just cancel each other out. But once one's gone, then the other kind of has power.
Yeah, I think that's something we'll need to pay attention to if we can kind of don't say it out loud, but maybe start keeping track of who's voting up, who's voting down. I mean, obviously, wearers are going to try and screw that up, but we know the pessimist and optimist can't mess around with that. So
It would have been better if, because he voted up, which was for JoJo, if he was like the pessimist that's to vote down, he would have had to vote for himself, just how the randomization
he didn't know
happened.
it was random.
Yeah, same as like for JoJo, they could have easily just lucked out if one of them was a pessimist or optimist.
All right, I have a theory. We've all voted one time, and we should all commit to that vote for the rest of the game, so that the werewolves can't figure out who's what.
That's dangerous.
So always kill the second person, right?
Well, it depends on who gets killed, because the votes will be changing as that happens.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you thinking?
Trying to get you out of my head, because I'm really like, I want to just kill Connor right now.
Big line through Connor on my sheet. I've got like everybody's name written. I just put a big line because I can't even get a read on him.
Stop thinking about Connor as the werewolf.
Don't let me be a distraction. You should be looking for the actual werewolves, not me.
I know. I'm trying.
Let's hear from.
I don't want to nominate, but can we hear from Adam? You have any
Adam.
suspicions?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, Adam.
I mean, I don't have any necessary suspicions yet. I did vote for Alex because I thought he was the baby dragon, because I don't see it being a bad thing to come out, lose one of your lives. That becomes a guaranteed trusted villager for everybody else. Chances are the werewolves aren't going to immediately kill you because they're going to want to kill important roles. Like later on in the game, he would probably die to the werewolves, but early on, that's at least one trusted person for the rest of the village. So I thought that's why he did it, and that's why I voted for him. But as far as suspicious people, nobody's standing out yet. I mean, maybe Nige, because he's likes to live in the dark, but you know.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
I did notice that.
Your eyes
in the
look
dark,
super
I just have
creepy.
really bad lighting. I could do the thing again.
So I want to ask everyone who voted
How about you,
down, so
Courtney?
who voted to kill Alex, did anyone vote because they thought Jojo was a villager or a good role?
I voted because I suspected Alex was trying to get immunity more than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I think thought that most people thought on voting down Alex. But I wanted to ask if someone thought maybe Jojo was good, and that's why they protected her.
I don't think she's bad, so I didn't have a reason to
Thank
vote for her.
you.
And like I said, I thought Alex was good and just wanted to prove to everybody he was good by doing that, because otherwise it didn't make sense to volunteer on day one. So
I didn't
but
think
I
either
had
of
no
them were
reason
good.
to try to kill JoJo at all. I don't necessarily think she's a wolf yet.
Well, Connor,
Yeah.
I heard you kind of ask me to
Yeah.
talk a couple times, but I didn't want to like jump in on anybody. I voted for JoJo. Sorry, but honestly, it was just because it was a crapshoot. Like it could have gone either way, and I didn't have suspicions on either necessarily, other than just not quite understanding why Alex S would just be so quick to be like, "No, I volunteer. I'll die." Like I'm cool with it. So I was just like, go with somebody that a couple people were thinking maybe had something against them versus someone who was volunteering for unknown reasons. Like they could have been the Rabbit Wolf, or I don't know. Or maybe he was, yeah.
I was actually surprised. I really thought JoJo was going to die.
Thanks.
To that effect, Connor, I saw you voted for Alex, but you nominated JoJo, and then you thought JoJo was going to die. So explain.
Yeah, I thought JoJo actually made a good point that if Alex was the Gwommy Wolf and he got Wolf Cub or Rabbit Wolf, it's a good move to do early rather than later in the game, because then you got like if you're the Wolf Cub, you got 2 people dead the next day. That's huge right at the beginning of the game with little information.
Or you get immunity, which
Right. So that's kind of why I voted for him. I'm still not clearing JoJo by any means.
What are you thinking, Adele?
I don't really have anything. I mean, I haven't played Werewolf in a while, but if I were the hunter, which I'm not, I would probably kill JoJo. Not that I'm saying that she's definitely bad, but there's nothing else to go on.
No, I like that. I like when we give suspicions. It does not choosing JoJo. I just I like giving the.
That's good, Connor.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Oh, there he's back.
I'm changing spots.
Who all voted for Alex? Because I mean, I want to hear from you guys as to why you voted for Alex, because he was a villager. I mean, I get that he put himself up there, but do you have any other reasons why you would have voted for him?
I think we just mostly thought he was trying to do the immunity next round / oh, I'm putting myself up, so then they're not going to think I'm a werewolf. So I thought he was one.
I also would rather first night with no information, potentially rather kill just a regular villager than an important role on the first day. And I know she said that she just said she's part of the village team, but that sounded to me more like there could be, we might want to make sure she's still alive.
So do we have any nominee or first candidate?
I have 3 suspicions between Adam, Adele, and Cynthia.
Why?
Adam, just the way he was trying to defend JoJo. Adele, he's been seeming a little nervous earlier. And same with Cynthia. I
So
felt
basically
like
what I'm hearing
nervous.
is that if you don't just sit perfectly silent, you become suspicious. He did a thing.
I'll nominate Adele.
So Connor is nominating Adele. Is there a second?
I'll second.
So, let's see. Connor, Gwommy seconds, and the target is Adele. So we have our first candidate. So the chopping block needs 2 people.
I'd like to nominate Gwommy.
So Alex Daly
Him
nominates
up against his
Gwommy. Is
own.
there a second for that?
A second.
And I have a second. So see here. Write this down. I have a second.
That'll teach you, Gwommy.
No, it won't.
No, I know it won't.
So I am going to roll it up and do it like that. Okay, that means that. Okay, so that means that when we vote, you're gonna have your defense and everything. But when we vote, Adele is gonna be up, Gwommy is gonna be down, and that means that Adele is the first one to have a defense. So.
Okay. I mean, I'm not. I don't mind dying actually that much.
Wow.
Again.
If Gwomy's important at all, then sure, I'll take the kill. Or I'll take the fall, whatever. Doesn't really.
Possibly the worst defense I've ever heard.
I know. No, it's just that I've never been that useful to the village anyways. Like, people can attest to that, so whatever.
He's not used to being nominated.
True.
you
That is
know?
very true.
But yeah, it will be obvious in a moment.
So, Gwommy, do you have
Oh
a
no!
defense for yourself?
I could be wrong about Adele. But it is true. He does not good for leaving in the final 3.
Yeah, don't leave him alive that long.
But neither are you, Gwommy.
But I am on Team Villager. Yeah, I'm not a vanilla villager, so there's that.
Oh.
Any suspicions, you two?
I already said my suspicions. I'm
That's
changing to Adam, Connor, and Cynthia.
Yeah, because you don't want to vote out yourself.
Well, I'm not suspect myself. I know I'm not a werewolf.
I like that I supported you in picking somebody you suspected, and now I'm suspected for doing it.
Exactly. You want to get on my good side.
No, I actually, when you called out Adele, I don't know. He definitely did seem nervous. I didn't think anything of it until you called him out. That was the only reason I nominated him.
Adele, any suspicions?
Me?
Except Jojo.
Okay,
I'm not even that suspicious of Jojo. It's just that if I were the hunter, I would have to.
Yeah,
make
but
a
I
choice,
feel
right?
like you are. So if you are, please don't.
Oh, no, I'm not the hunter. You don't need to worry about that. That's fine.
So Jojo, do you want to have a defense for Adele because it's your life?
Well, he said he's not the hunter, and I'm trusting that. If he's the hunter,
I'm just gonna ask you all. I think this system is kind of fun, especially in this setup. Like,
yeah, it's cool.
We have a defense, we have a second defense, and then we have a little questionnaire, so you can discuss stuff.
It's not bad. I like it.
Alex,
I'll just say
why did you put Gwommy up.
It's just the 3 people that he named I didn't have any suspicions of, and the way that he kind of framed it just didn't sit well with me. You know, that it's early game, so it's just a hunch, but I'm like 60% on Gwommy.
Okay.
Let me just say,
Fair
Gwommy, do you need to live long?
Do I need to live long?
Yeah.
I don't care.
well, that doesn't mean anything.
Good luck, Adele.
Well, we're both in the same wavelength, so whatever.
I just saw in chat, in case I died this night, I was the baby dragon and I only have 1 life left. So you guys definitely know that the baby dragon is gone.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Well, he could also be saying that just so that we don't kill him, because we don't
So
have any
you
way
said
of knowing.
you're the baby dragon?
I am the baby dragon, yeah.
So how do you know when your life
what he's saying.
Write it down that he
And
claimed
someone targeted me. I don't know if it was the Gwommy man or the werewolves, but someone did.
It was
Did you get confirmation that you were targeted?
Yeah, how do you
Well,
know that?
if you're the baby dragon,
Because,
you are told
because
that
I
you
saw
lose
it
a
in
life.
chat.
Yeah.
Also, it wrote me that I have only 1 life left.
Claiming Joseph will tell you is what you're saying. Gotcha.
If the
Oh,
baby
but
dragon
someone else
loses
was-
one of their lives, I will tell them.
Oh,
So-
okay.
If he was
Any
lying,
other
someone else took him
reason?
out.
Interesting.
I only did
Alright.
it because I could die and didn't notice it earlier.
I see.
Okay.
And
So I
the
didn't
village should
realize
know
that
that
he
the
was
baby dragon
telling
is
the
gone.
baby dragon.
And thinking about it, it is true, because if there was a baby dragon, they would have contradicted that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And Alex couldn't be the baby dragon because he died.
Very true, Yahoo.
Okay.
I like it. You are the genius.
Thanks.
All right. Are we ready to vote?
Are we ready to vote?
Who's
So
up
wait,
and who's down?
Who's
Did we
up
ever
and
hear
down
that?
again? Yeah.
Okay, so Adele is up. If you want Adele to die, that's up. If you want Gwommy to die, that's down.
Gwommy. Got it.
And please hold it a little bit so I can count. I'm not that good at it. And I'm going to mute everyone, so back to both of the candidates. And we're going to vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. I see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up, which means, sorry Adele, you are dead. And Adele was a villager. So Good night, everyone. That was close. Okay, so another lovely night. Maybe you can pull it off again and survive during the night. We'll see how it goes. We are going to start with the bodyguard. So if you tell me who you want to protect. Thank you. Then we are going to have the Gwommy man wake up. And randomize this up. And for your options, thumbs up or thumbs down. You have chosen that. And what more do you need to tell me? Thank you. So it is time for the werewolves. Who do you want to brutally murder in the night? Thank you. And then the seer. Who do you want to see? Thank you. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Well, not everyone, because someone did die. I'm sorry to inform you, Alex Daly, you are dead. Obviously, people in this village don't like people called Alex for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, we will do day 3, and now Gwommy is immune from being. Cannot nominate Gwommy. You can, however, nominate Jojo again if you want, because that is over. Speaking of which, I got a mail, and some weird guy emailed me and said that Jojo is a candidate, so she's already nominated. So you're gonna have to find a second candidate.
All right, I was just thinking. I think it was.
Can I ask a
obvious.
rules question?
I think it was obvious.
We have a rabid wolf question, I guess.
Was Alex a villager?
Oh, he was.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think it was obvious what Adele was, and that's why I voted the way I did. I think he was trying to point out to us what he was without saying it. So I'm extremely suspicious of the people who voted to kill him.
I agree.
I would also like to clarify something. Since Jojo was nominated in the middle of the night, if she is the rabbit wolf, nobody can turn. So just so you know.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not the rabid wolf, though.
But you
You're
are
one of the other wolves?
No, I'm not a wolf at all.
Well, I apparently made a mistake. I'm not sure what horrible blunder that I made for killing Adele.
Adele said very clearly that you're going to know why he didn't care if he died, and you're going to see, and it's going to be obvious.
Oh.
If you paid attention to the votes, you should know why it was obvious.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Wait,
I didn't vote to kill him.
he voted himself though too.
Because he had to.
Would be it.
Right. He was.
Checks out.
That's still, I don't think that's like the worst thing.
Yeah, I don't think that that's really a bad thing.
No, here it is.
That's
It is
better than losing a.
It is still a villager role, right? It counts for the villagers, so we still have those people around.
Which role was that again?
Which role was
the optimist that always votes up
is what we're thinking. I mean,
it's not even verified. Like he could have been a tricky rabbit wolf, which I think would have been a bad rabbit wolf play.
Well, he wasn't. He was a villager.
He wasn't. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He killed himself.
Well, I've had like 3 slip-ups here, so I'm going to be suspicious soon.
No, which role is it that nominates the night before?
The Gwommy man.
The Gwommy man.
The other
Gets
thing
an
I was just
option
thinking
to.
about, it's probably not a good idea for if the seer is still around. It's probably not a good idea for the seer to check somebody like Gwommy, for instance, because we can't nominate him this round anyway. Like you shouldn't check
who was just safe.
Killed the next night or the next day because
Oh,
nominate him anyway.
but tonight it's fine to check me, but you'll get a villager.
Early.
No, it is because think if the seer dies that night, they wasted.
No, I mean tonight.
Except
If they check me tonight, I won't be immune tomorrow.
No, you're right. But I'm saying, let's say JoJo and Adam are
Yeah.
up for tonight or today. If Adam,
Yeah.
it's probably not a good idea for the seer to check Adam because he can't get killed off the next day anyway.
Unless they really suspect them, then at least we can know that for the future.
No,
I
I
have a
think
question.
eventually you can, but I wouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't think that's the best move.
I have a question, if that's okay. Not being sure that Alex had anything or anything, did our Frankenstein just become the Optimist?
Oh, that's could he become the optimist or pessimist, Joseph? Okay.
That's like the worst.
I thought he said Hunter
Only
Seer
certain
bodyguard.
Joseph said no.
Gwommy man.
Let him explain why.
Yeah. It's like no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe it does. But
So
it's
it's
just to
an active power, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
That Frankenstein gets.
That would be the lamest Frankenstein.
More like a
much
trait,
better.
like a lichen.
But what
I
happens
was
if
very
both of them
worried there
die?
for a second.
Oh right.
What happens if both of them die? Then they have to like.
Yeah.
Well, no, you said the Frankenstein only takes on the first.
Yes, the first,
yeah. Right,
first active
okay.
role.
So what's up, guys? I'm already.
I'm also wondering how valuable is the seer in this game?
Not really.
What?
Because there's well, I mean they are, but they have so much misinformation.
There's an unknown number of lichens. There could be a wolf man. They have no idea if they're in the game or not in the game. So like, they're not.
So I think they are still valuable because when I'm the seer, I combine my tells that I already have with my seer power, and it confirms it. It can give me bad readings, but like
The only
normally,
difference is that the C is not 100%.
Right. They're
Basically,
definitely not
if the
as strong as
seer-
they normally
if
would
the
be.
seer clears somebody, they're not necessarily cleared, and we can't
Yeah.
roll with it for the rest of the game like
Yeah.
what Jason did.
well, and I would say if we have two lichens and a wolfman, with a smaller group like this, it is definitely noticeably less valuable.
I think I don't know how. I haven't thought about how many werewolves we have, but I feel like we probably have 2 lichens or had 2 lichens if Alex was one.
Yeah, so that's one thing I always like to talk about on day one is the number of werewolves.
Well, but
what do we? I know. Well, okay, so I guess just skip it now.
No. I said it. I want to say I
What
did
is-
say how many werewolves do we think there is, and then everyone was like, "You're suspicious. We're moving on." Anyway, sorry.
I think 3.
I also think 3 and 2 lichens. So it
I
would
was
be very
thinking
confusing for the village.
3 werewolves and 3 lichens would be awesome.
I was thinking the same with the Yahoo, mainly because
I was
Joseph
thinking
wants
4.
this to be the Gwommy game, and that is still a lot of chaos.
I mean, this is an ode to Gwommy, right? So like, the more chaos, the better
Yeah.
in the game.
I have a question. Was anyone?
He knows me already.
There-
I'm scared.
It was still a close move. Is there people that are still like? I don't think I was necessarily suspicious of Gwommy, but I did think Adele was good, like cleared good because of what he was saying. So that's kind of why I voted. But is anyone actually suspicious of Gwommy?
I'm not suspicious of
is
him. That's
that,
why
like,
I
more
voted
Maybe a
it.
tiny bit, but not
Yeah,
nothing
maybe a
major.
little
Yeah.
bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
So one thing I will say,
The
these
normal amount.
people
Yeah.
have like
Exactly.
on-point games and they have off games. I'm having an off game, so I'm of no
Oh
use
no,
to you.
Yahoo.
It's the,
Is that why
it's
you
the
changed
no
your
note
name,
taking.
Yahoo?
No, it's not just that. I actually had to start taking notes again because with the optimist and the pessimist, I was never going to figure that out.
Right.
And then my notes were all screwed up. I'm just saying, I don't think my tells are on because I was kind of suspicious of Gwommy, and then like I completely missed. Well, the way I interpreted what he was saying was, I don't care if I die, which like it's like okay, that's kind of useless. I didn't even know that he was saying not to kill him.
Yeah, he was saying after he said that, and after he found out where they were positioned, he then said, "I don't care if you kill me, but you'll see why it doesn't matter."
I mean, that's why I thought he was the hunter, because I thought he was saying, "You'll find out." Especially
Well, you have to remember, like the optimist and the pessimist can't say who they are, so they have to.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of why I took it the way.
Good to know now.
Well, I was kind of thinking he would say he was claiming the baby dragon as well.
And I wanted to just go out and say that, but I also wanted to see who voted him out.
So I don't remember, Joseph. Did the Gwommy man have a chance to use his powers on night 0?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a possibility that the Gwommy man checked Jojo and then nominated her, right?
Possible.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
I don't blame you. It's okay.
So real quick, if the Gwommy man had been killed, would their effects still go off?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
he would still
happen-
say it at night, but
They
nothing
happen
would
before the werewolves, so I would say yes. They do whatever they do, then the werewolves.
Alright. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, the good thing is we know the Gwommy man's still alive, but I guess technically
But it could be
Could have been
daily, right?
Yeah.
Is this the day that JoJo was pre-nominated?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're just looking for a second candidate.
I haven't updated my name just for the record.
I want to hear if Adam, if you have any suspicions now.
If I do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more suspicious of Gwommy just because of the people who voted for him. Like Alex Daly said he was 60%, and Daly's usually pretty good. And then I think Melissa and you and Chris, I think, all voted down.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you all voted for Gwommy, if all of you are thinking that kind of makes me suspicious of him, if you have some sorts of suspicions.
Yeah, but again,
which I don't know, maybe you voted for him because you knew that Adele was safe. Okay. But other than that,
And somebody could have voted down because they had to.
Sure,
Well, somebody
right.
did
Someone
vote down
has
'cause they
to,
had
right? I want to know from Lucas, if you said that you were targeted, is there someone you think that would target you that early, or do you have any
Well, probably
suspicions?
people who know
'Cause
me.
I
so-
trust you. I trust you, Lucas. I mean, as
Thanks.
a villager, I think you're the only one that can be 100% a villager at this point.
Well,
Yeah, definitely not 100%.
I think Alex is 100% a villager.
Of the living.
Oh,
No, he could have been a
say
wolf.
that.
Oh, that wouldn't have.
well, the two people I suspect the most who would maybe try to kill me are Ayahu and Connor. Because Connor checked me on the night 1 once when I was a werewolf and he was the seer.
Yeah, do you remember my reasoning?
Yeah, you said it's because I was beside you, but I don't believe you.
Camera next to me, the screen next to me. That was the only
I
reason.
don't know who's next to who because I put all my names in alphabetical order.
I thought you would have sorted them by most to least purple.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Melissa, I hate asking you the question, but come on, you got reads. Let's hear them.
I do. So I am still on the JoJo train. I've been since day one. Sorry, JoJo. Obviously, I feel like Lucas is safe. I don't see any reason why he would come out as a baby dragon. I thought it was actually, at first I was like, why would you say that? And then it's like, oh, well, you want people to know that you're gone. So that makes sense. And then I'm like 40% on Gwommy. And then
50% he's bad.
yeah.
Now,
Maybe
do you start at 50? So 40% bad, meaning you're less suspicious of him, or
no, but okay, the opposite.
you are a
60%.
little suspicious, but not much.
Yes, a little suspicious. We'll say that. And then my only other person that I'm suspicious of, and it's just because of some of the questions that were asked earlier.
Paul.
No, it's not Paul. It's not.
Is it poor Paul?
And it's not because of anything Gwommy said, because I think Gwommy said it, but I am suspicious of Cynthia, and it's only because of some questions that she asked earlier and the way things were phrased. It didn't sit right with me.
I can concur with that suspicion.
You mean like asking?
I mean, I'm asking a lot of questions because I have not played this game very often. This is, I think, my 3rd game. And then we're adding in a ton of really weird characters that I'm trying to keep track of.
Well, I'm just gonna say
I don't mean to just throw out the like, oh, I'm new like excuse again.
Sure.
But I also don't understand why else you guys would be suspicious of me. I'm just a villager.
Well, who was that? Gwommy said he was suspicious of you too, I think.
He did.
Right, but
then-
I'm not nearly as good as pointing out werewolves as other people.
About you,
But Cynthia
Chris?
did want to kill Gwommy, just
Yeah, she was very vocal on the first day about why did people vote to not kill JoJo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I was trying to get some information and figure out because Alex was for sure a villager. We found out at the end, so I was just trying to figure out who would have been targeting him. Is what I had asked, because I thought maybe it was werewolves that was targeting him.
I want the
but I
same
do wanna
question
also-
to be asked after I die.
I mean, I don't know about JoJo either. Like, the only thing I have going on JoJo is that people had put her up on the chopping block to begin with, and that's literally all I have.
Same.
As far as Gwommy goes, he has suspected me. So, of course, now I'm like, well, why would he be suspecting me? But then Alex D also backed that up. He said, I don't understand why he picked the people that he picked, which I was one of those people. And then he's dead now. So
Oh yeah, that's definitely a werewolf ploy to put pressure on me.
it could, I mean, sure, it could be, but that is the only thing I have to go on now.
that's a werewolf way to say I have a defense against killing Alex.
Yes, but a
So-
werewolf action would actually do that.
This would need a second, but I am going to
Chris.
nominate Cynthia.
No. Don't, just wait.
Well, it
So,
hasn't been seconded.
Yahoo has
Yeah,
nominated
he
Cynthia.
nominated.
There is a second for it.
Don't second it. Just wait.
And I can remind you
Oh,
that we're only looking for
Alpha
one
Gamer
candidate.
Connor is in
Okay.
play again. He's a werewolf. Be careful.
Yeah, you could be right. He's trying to figure out how do I play this as a werewolf without getting caught.
If he is a werewolf, the seer will check him.
Was that
Yeah,
enough
but
time?
again,
Yeah,
we-
but he's the wolf man, you know?
So I think
That is
the nomination has failed. Still looking for a candidate.
Yeah, I just want to hear Chris quickly. So I picked Adam, Melissa, and Chris because I think they are all really good at reading. So that's why I'm asking these three before we just go ahead and nominate. I'm just curious.
I want to see what happens when JoJo dies.
Me too.
I don't.
I want to know what Lucas thinks because he's the only one that's 100% confirmed villager.
No, well,
Well-
Easy does it now. He is not.
I really wish that we would
I
have
mean, I
stopped
believe him,
saying
but
that.
it's not confirmed.
Okay, not
You know?
Right.
Oh, you're right. You're not confirmed.
Yeah, he's like
but
30% confirmed.
What? I came out
I'll
before
give him
anyone else
75%.
died.
Yeah, no, it was literally okay. So the baby dragon had to be in the game, and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
I'm
no, I
suspicious
agree.
of everyone that is making a huge point of how clear he is, because that's bad for the village.
Oh,
I'm
So,
gonna
I don't
Anyway.
trust him at all.
nominate
Because he's
somebody.
going to die, and then we have nothing.
I'm gonna nominate somebody. I'm gonna nominate Adam.
So Connor
Okay.
nominates Adam. Is there a second?
I'll
for that?
second that. He was
And
one of the
Yahoo
people that was.
seconds that.
I was
Okay.
talking about Lucas.
So target is Adam, and it's Connor nominating, and it is a Yahoo seconding, and it's time for some defense speeches here. So we're going to roll it up. So let's see. Jojo will
Rules
be-
question.
Yeah.
JoJo wasn't nominated. How does that work? Would the Gwommy man become the werewolf if she was the?
No, he said
No,
nobody
no.
would.
Okay.
No.
doesn't matter.
Okay, so we'll do it like this, and that's that. So that means that Adam is up, Jojo is down, and that means that Adam gets to have his defense first.
Okay, if you're suspicious of me because I called out Lucas, if you play with me, I always like to hear from the people that I trust from their opinions. And at this point, I don't see a reason he would lie about the baby dragon, because I don't think the werewolves are going to immediately go after him, because at this point he's a plain villager. They want to go after Frankenstein and the seer and whatever. So I trust him. In my book, he's 100%, because there's no reason to lie about being the baby dragon, in my opinion. So if that's why you're suspicious of me, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a villager. I've voted to kill Alex the first time, and I voted to kill Gwommy the second time just because I thought they were suspicious. If they're not or if they are villagers, then I was wrong, but I'm a villager, so hopefully you won't kill me.
Okay, so Jojo time for defense.
Okay, I didn't want to say it earlier, but I'm assuming I'm gonna die.
No.
So
No, don't.
no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say the other thing.
What?
What is
Oh, the other thing.
what's happening?
Yeah. now
Was
I'm
this werewolf
confused.
communication?
We need to get rid of Connor.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Do we think I'm gonna die or do we think Adam's gonna die?
I think Adam's gonna die.
Oh, thanks.
Well,
Okay,
regardless, let Jojo talk.
I don't know
please.
about that.
Okay,
Let her
yeah.
talk, Connor.
Is the mayor
I
in this?
am-
or- No, I'm just kidding.
I am on the village team. I am. So I'm slightly suspicious of Adam, not because of the Lucas thing. I trust Lucas 90% because I feel like someone would have come out. Also, my thing's running out of battery. But I feel like he was talking. I hate meta, but I feel like he was talking very differently. And the whole Gwommy situation, I don't exactly understand. But that's all I've got. Don't kill me, please.
Do we have
Well,
any? Let's have a little Q&A session for the. You have a
I want to
question?
say, because Adam asked me before Connor nominated, in case Jojo dies and she's a villager, I 100 suspect Connor as a werewolf.
I don't think we should kill Jojo.
Thanks.
Stop alpha gaming, Connor.
You put him up, you put her up the first time, Connor.
Yeah.
Now
And I
that's
voted.
interesting.
I voted to keep her alive the first time too.
This is interesting.
I'm so confused.
Also, in case
I've been on the
Jojo is
JoJo
a,
train since day one. I'm sticking on it. Sorry,
Now,
Jojo.
I'm telling you right now, it's Adam. I'm the seer. Adam's a
What do
werewolf.
you say, Melissa? You
What?
think that JoJo's a villager?
Wait, what?
Wait,
no,
wait, what?
Werewolf. I was the one who seconded her day one, and I mean,
Connor,
I
are you
could be
serious
wrong.
with you?
Yes, I'm the
Yes,
seer.
I think Adam's
Wait,
bad.
wait, guys.
Oh my
Connor is saying
goodness.
he's a seer.
Yes, Adam is a werewolf.
Oh, right, because Adele said he could see. I get it now.
I also don't interrupted JoJo because I don't want her to give her if she has a role, I don't want her to say her role because I want us to get rid of Adam this turn and not vote JoJo out. I'm not saying JoJo's good. But I like that,
If you saw me as a werewolf, I'm a lichen. If you think JoJo has a role, then it's better to kill me. But
Connor, have you checked me?
Yeah, Connor, who else
You
did
don't
you
have
check?
to answer that.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna say that, and there's.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's gonna make me very suspicious. I know
No,
that.
no, that's
But
fine.
listen, there's reasons for this in this game with all these Lycan and Wolfman roles.
No, there are no reasons not to
No.
kill.
I
There are no reasons, Connor.
There are.
See, I just
No.
know that he thinks more than I do, so I'm like, I'm just trusting that there's some reason.
I'll explain. Let's say I checked the Wolfman and I say they're good. They're going to play like, oh, sweet, I'm free to do whatever I want because I'm good. I'd rather them not know that I checked them and keep playing like they are suspicious.
But
And
you will
die
die
with that
probably.
information.
Yeah, I don't think. Listen, my only information is Adam is a werewolf. It's my only information.
So you only checked one time?
No.
No.
And how do you know he isn't a Lycan?
He checked who showed up bad, and he doesn't want to say the people he confirmed because he doesn't think they're actually confirmed.
Okay,
But
well, because of that, we're going to disregard your information and kill you.
I've been saying this whole game is not as powerful because I am trying. When I check people, not only like it doesn't matter if they get a thumbs up or thumbs down. I still have to read them. I've been trying to read Adam. That's why I was debating like, do I say anything because he could have been a Lycan, but his arguments and his
I agree.
He's suspicious. That's why
I will say right now, my screen is frozen for me. I don't know if it is for everybody else.
Yeah.
So if you're
Oh,
trying to get a
tell
read
me,
on me
Adam.
right now, you can.
I thought you were just sitting
That's a
really
true story.
still.
I know a lot of
Sorry.
times I do sit still, but I have actually been frozen for like the last 2 minutes.
You're sitting
There's
amazingly
variations.
still right now.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say: if you guys are suspicious of me, that's fine. You can kill me the next night. I don't think I'll make it through the next night anyway. But I really think we should vote Adam out.
Okay.
I agree, but I personally think that confirmed villagers, like max one of them is actually bad. I still think it's useful. I might be wrong.
No, it is useful.
And at some point, I might give out that information. I'm just saying.
You just said you don't think you'll make it through the next night, so I feel like
Right, so that's kind of the
I'm telling
point.
you right now, my information is not important. It's not.
I have a theory,
Chris,
which
do you
is
still want to kill Connor?
What's that? What's a house theory?
we vote out Adam, and if
Well,
he's
let's
not
see
a
what happens when
werewolf,
Jojo
then
dies.
we immediately kill Connor.
No, I wouldn't say
Well,
immediately
no,
because he
because
could
it
have
means
been
I'm a
like
lichen. If
No,
he
but
was
the
a
thing
named
is, because of
werewolf-
the way
That's a
that
good
he's
idea.
chosen to be all derpy, he's mad sus. It would be ridiculous because he could come out. Well, I guess the seer would know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm a dullard.
So,
Let's
are we
just
ready
vote
to vote?
Let's vote out Adam, and we can decide what to do with me later.
Who's up and down? Who's up and down?
So, Adam is up to kill. Jojo is down to kill. And I am going to mute everyone. And good luck to people on the chopping block. And we are going to vote. Well, wait a minute. Okay. So we're going to vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. So, okay, so up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So Adam is dead. Adam did text me and say that he was voting for Jojo, which kind of makes sense. But just so you know, because his screen was frozen. Adam is dead, and Adam was a werewolf. So, good night, everyone. So, let me update my notes, and let's start with the bodyguard. Who do you want to protect? Thank you. Then we're going to have the Gwommy man. Get some options. And it's going to be up or down. I want to do that. And who do you want to do that to? Thank you. Then we have some werewolves. So the werewolves can wake up and tell me who they want to kill. Which is kind of nasty and mean, because people are sleeping in the village and you're just going to kill one. But, you know, that's how it goes. Can't stop you. Oh. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So then you're going to bed again. We're going to have the seer wake up. You want to see. Thank you. All right. So let's have a morning again. Everybody wake up. You can unmute yourself. Well, sadly though, Yahoo, you didn't make it through the night. Sorry, man. And Yahoo was a villager.
And I just wanted to clear Ayahu as being definitely good.
And that also means now that once again Jojo is immune. Can't nominate her.
What was Adam again?
Werewolf. Adam was a werewolf.
He's a werewolf.
He was a werewolf.
So in case he was the Gwommy wolf and chose Rabbit Wolf, then Connor would be a werewolf. Just in case, I'm just saying.
Well, who nominated in second that vote?
Connor and Ayahu.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But it could turn out that Yahoo was picked and hadn't turned yet, so he counts as a villager.
No, they turn right away.
They turn
Did
right
they?
away.
Like
Okay.
he would have, whoever, if one of them turned, they would have woken up with the werewolves.
I messed
last.
up because if
Would the werewolves have been able
Oh,
to kill him?
wait. Joseph messed up.
I was supposed to, every time a werewolf dies, I was supposed to send pretend or send a message, and you were gonna check your messages. Since I didn't, I'm gonna give a little reveal here that there is no rabbit wolf. So that's how it is.
Yeah, Adam was not a rabbit wolf.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
Connor, you are safe
We're
for a
down to
few
3.
more days.
Sorry, you said there's no rabid wolf at all, or the rabid wolf just?
The rabbit wolf
No
was
rabbit
never in
wolf at
play.
all.
Okay.
Oh, it was never in play.
So they,
Okay.
yeah, so they picked
So-
one of the
Okay,
other
so it's
3.
either Wolfman, Cub, or Hunter, but probably Wolfman.
Congrats, Paul, on making it this far.
Oh yeah, thanks. I'm
Oh,
impressed.
oh, Paul's
I
still
vowed
here.
not to
Okay.
kill him.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
See,
You said you weren't
yeah,
going to kill me
that's
the
on my
first
list
night.
there.
Kind of
Yep.
worried the second night,
Oh.
but no, we're good now.
I'm just a villager and you're not suspect, so it's okay.
Should we be
Connor, do you want to stay silent?
Mm,
Or did you find
Well-
a werewolf?
yeah, no, I'm gonna at least
Well,
wait for the first
if
nomination.
you do clear people, we'll know that there's a like an asterisk on there that they might not be 100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait for some
Like, we
nominations here.
There are some nominations. We only have 2 maximum.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna wait to see what happens for the first
Okay.
person nominated.
So I want to know for the people who voted to kill me, what's up with that?
Well, I don't trust Connor. I didn't trust Connor, and I'm still suspicious of you because Gwommy man nominated you, Jojo.
Okay.
You were my first suspicion since day one, and I wasn't going to change my vote.
Was it just
Are
you
you-
two?
what about you, Chris?
Yeah, who else?
Yeah.
Alec or Adam?
That was an interesting thing that just happened with the Adam thing. I had Connor and JoJo as suspicions, and then that actually kind of cleared them pretty much for me. I now have Melissa and Paul on my list, as well as Doug. Doug. He's the only player on the that in here so far that I haven't played with much before. I mean, besides Cynthia and Courtney. I can't read them yet, but Doug is the only player that I questioned early on with some of the things he was saying early on. So Melissa, Paul, and Doug, I guess.
Guys,
my
note it down.
suspicion.
Chris is usually correct in at least one of his suspicions.
One of you has to die.
Unless he's a werewolf.
If he's good.
Yeah, all right.
I believe Chris is good.
No, I can say I figured Connor checked Adam. If he was a Lycan, then that's fine, and we would have found that out. I figured enough people were probably going to vote down for him to vote him out, that I wasn't going to change my vote. I from the first time JoJo started talking about why we shouldn't talk about what the possible werewolf roles could be, she was on my list. So
I mean, it didn't fully clear you, Connor, but it makes me feel better about you knowing that I'm glad he wasn't a Lycan, because that would have really made it more
I
concerning
would have
for you.
honestly, I would have been fine defending. I honestly think I would have been fine defending myself.
oh yeah, if he was a Lycan, then that wouldn't make me trust Connor less, because
Yeah,
it would
I
actually make me
would've-
trust him more.
Probably one of the reasons why I didn't tell you who I checked, because I can use that as my defense too.
Gotcha.
Wow.
But like,
So are you wanting
Connor,
us to
Connor is
nominate
still
you?
not 100% cleared for me because it
I
would
don't
be a
understand.
werewolf
If
Connor
you,
move.
if you think I'm a werewolf, go ahead and nominate me.
No, I won't. I'm just saying you're not 100% clear.
I know.
Right, because he has done this.
Yeah,
throw the
it would be
werewolf
such
under
a
the
Connor
bus.
move, you know?
Yeah, but I've actually
True.
never, and I mean, this is again, I could be playing a completely different game. I've never claimed a fake role like this.
Yeah, but in this
Is he?
case, you have better chances.
I'm
Oh,
afraid of
You was a
Okay.
Lycan.
Melissa and Cynthia.
What?
Who and who?
Oh,
Connor, Melissa, and Cynthia. Just putting it out there.
You're
Why
suspicious of
Connor?
Connor.
Why?
Huh?
Why Connor?
I'm not suspicious of Connor as in anywhere near nominating or even seconding. I'm just suspicious of Connor as in he's either really good or really bad. And no,
you.
Anyway, bye.
I nominate Paul.
Okay, so Lucas nominates Paul. Is there a second for that?
Okay.
Paul, you want to second that?
Wait.
No, I'm
So,
good.
Connor, did
I
you
think
have
it's
a
a good
second?
idea for the village.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so Connor
then-
second. So
I'll nominate.
Wait.
Oh, no.
Connor wanted to talk when we have the first
Go.
nomination.
Go for it, Connor.
Wait,
Yeah, I was
who
hoping you wouldn't-
nominated Paul?
I was hoping it wouldn't
I
be
did.
you. I was hoping it wouldn't be you that did it.
Why am I even writing
Okay.
this stuff down? Because I already said there's no rabbit wolf. So
Yeah.
I hate having that stuff in the game. I have to do a completely new list over here. That doesn't make sense. So I'm never gonna use that again. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there's only one person alive that I've checked right now. Everyone else that I've checked is dead.
Are you willing to say whether they were? Well, I guess you would say if they were a wolf. So I'm guessing they weren't.
Right.
So possibly the wolf man. Got it.
So Chris, you wanted to make a nomination?
I'm teetering between two.
If you checked me, I'm not the wolf man.
I don't know. For me, it would be either Melissa or Douglas. Put one of them up there, but I don't know which one.
I trust you,
I'm
Chris.
gonna nominate Gwommy.
Well, that's a different one.
So Connor nominates Gwommy.
Who am I up against?
Connor.
Hey,
Oh.
you haven't been seconded.
Is there a
If
second
I
for
was
Gwommy?
seconded, I guess. I don't want to.
You don't want to second yourself. I can understand that. But...
No. Well,
It's such a werewolf move, Gwommy, not seconding you yourself.
Yeah,
I know. I know. I know it's gonna make me look suspicious, but
I don't
I'll
see
second
any.
Gwommy.
You'll second it?
Melissa seconds Gwommy. Okay, so
Okay.
we have Paul
Boy.
Paul versus Gwommy, and I will still have to randomize who is who. So we're gonna do. Okay, so Paul is going to be up. Gwommy is gonna be down, and that means that Paul gets his defense first.
Okay, well, I am on the village team. I'm not a vanilla villager. I don't necessarily want to say what I am, but if it comes to me dying, then I guess I will.
Well,
but
you are
something-
nominated.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you guys are probably
Yeah,
going to
just
kill
wait.
me, then
Yeah,
I'll come out.
Okay,
But I will
yeah,
also
let's.
die or not to. If, I don't know.
Do what Gwommy has to say first.
All right, so Gwomy's defense time.
all right. Who suspects me the most? Raise a hand.
Most?
Yeah.
How can we know?
One of
Oh.
them that nominated you, I would guess.
Yeah.
But
I think you mean two suspect him more than Paul.
So here's what I'll say, Gwommy. I think it's Melissa.
Okay.
I nominated you because I do think you're good, and I was waiting to see who would second it, and it took.
I second him because I second Gwommy because it was the way you said who you didn't check, and then Gwommy said, if you checked me, I'm not the wolf man, and that is very Gwommy that he would be the wolf man.
Well,
Listen, here's what I'm gonna say. If
All right.
if Gwommy is the hunter, I'm okay with him shooting you, and I'm okay.
I mean,
with
that's fine.
Gwommy out.
oh yeah. So Connor, who do you think we should kill?
I think Melissa.
Gwommy.
That's
I
not
agree
an
with
option.
Why are you Paul? Paul
Well, I'm
says he's
saying
roll.
I'm saying for Gwomy's sake, if he is the hunter, I think Melissa.
All right.
Did he
Kill
say
me.
he was the hunter?
Kill me.
What?
Yeah.
2 for 1.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll take it.
He's claiming it. Now listen, he could be he could have chosen the werewolf hunter, in which case I'm dead, which I don't think the seer is that powerful in this game. I don't have any
But-
valuable information for you
It's
guys.
fine.
You did find us a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's true if he is. So who's up and who's down?
So
I'm down.
Paul is
Paul,
up.
wait.
Paul is up, Gwomy's down.
Yeah.
Paul's up,
So
Gwommy.
Paul, you still don't want to come out?
Yeah,
In case you die?
I don't
No,
think
no, because we're
No.
all.
I don't think he.
I'm ready.
Basically, if
Yeah,
everyone's
Gwommy's
ready
getting
with their
Gwommy.
pitchforks
But
or
Paul could
whatever,
die
I
in the
would,
night.
but otherwise, I'll stay quiet.
Yeah, if he dies in the night, oh well.
We haven't heard of a bodyguard yet. They could be still alive.
If he dies in the listen, Lucas, if he dies in the night, that means I made it through.
True.
Right. If he dies, yeah.
Okay,
Who
so
knows how suspicious
Wait.
Connor will be.
we are going to vote, and I'm going to
Wow.
mute you, lovely people, even though I like listening to all your theories. So we're going to have up means you want to kill Paul, down means you want to kill Gwommy. So let's vote in 3, 2, 1. So I see only down votes. So yeah, I'm sorry, Gwommy. It's kind of your game, but you are dead. However, Gwommy, you can unmute yourself and kill someone because Gwommy is the hunter.
I still think Cynthia is suspicious, but I'm gonna go with Melissa.
Okay, so Melissa is dead as well, and Melissa was a werewolf. So, good night, everyone. And that was exciting. Maybe we should have more hunters, so we could have some chain reactions. That would be fun. But let's start with the bodyguard. Who do you want to protect this night? Okay, thank you. And we're going to have the Gwommy man. And you can either do the top or the bottom. Do that, and who do you want to do that to? Thank you. Then we do have some werewolves. So who do you want to kill? Thank you. And we also will have a seer. So who do you want to see? Okay, thank you. Go back to sleep. And good morning, everyone. You can unmute yourself. And, well, I'm a bit sorry to say, but Connor, you survived for a long time, but you're finally dead. And Connor was a villager. So, this day, we are going to have Paul being immune. So, you cannot nominate Paul. However, again, this weird guy keeps sending me these messages. So, Nige, you are already a candidate. So, the other just need to, you all need just to find one candidate today.
Interesting.
About Nige with his dark,
So he
dark
did.
screen.
So the Gwommy man did not nominate Jojo again. So he never checked Jojo and probably believes her now. I also believe you now, Jojo, because Melissa was so strong on you since day one.
That's why I was suspicious of her, because I know she's super smart.
It was also strange for her to just say like, "Oh, I'm just gonna keep my vote." However,
stick with my vote.
because
That's why.
Because honestly, I think I mean I believed Connor anyways when he said that Adam was a werewolf. So I'd rather accidentally kill maybe somebody who happened to be a lichen than kill somebody with no suspicion whatsoever just cause.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Like I don't really think JoJo's done anything suspicious other than try and move the game along on the first day.
True.
So Chris, what do you think about Nige?
It's hard to read somebody I can't even see.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
I kind of wish Connor gave us who he checked just so we had a couple
That's
people
a little better.
maybe confirmed, but maybe not because of Lycan or Wolfman.
If
I didn't tell us anything.
Because he didn't tell us anyone that he checked besides Adam. So
Yeah, he said that everyone he checked was dead.
Except
only one person he checked.
alive.
Which,
And that-
like he said, he doesn't want to clear someone if someone's the Wolfman and the only person that's still alive is a villager. Because then everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're free and clear, and then that's how they get to the end.
Yeah, in the end game, that'd be a very bad thing to do.
Nige, I want you to talk for a bit.
Oh.
I mean, I can't, and I don't really have any suspicions. I mean, Cynthia and Doug are mine, but that's really it.
So why is everyone suspicious of?
I am a vanilla villager, so if I do die, it's not as much of a loss.
Not everyone,
'cause I
just
literally
me.
have no role.
Yeah,
it's just Chris who's suspicious of you, Doug.
Yeah.
There was I wrote your name down, but I didn't write down any notes because I'm bad with notes. But
And
I
I
remember
wrote it
there
down
was a few
because
things
Chris
you said
said it.
early on that was odd.
I was
if
suspicious
if I
of
was
JoJo early
Third
on
fail me,
because
I'm
of being nominated by the Gwommy man, I'm suspicious of Cynthia because of when she was called the first time. She said she's nervous. You know, from the first time I played, when I was a villager, I wasn't nervous, but when I was a werewolf, I was nervous. So that kind of threw me off as, uh-oh, like,
Yeah.
this could be, you know, your first game and you're nervous. That's why.
Well, if we have a Gwommy or a seer still left, they should check some of the new people.
Honestly, I think I was more nervous the first time I was in an important village
throw that
role
out there.
than when I was the first time being a werewolf.
Right. And I just get
That's fair.
nervous. I'm not a very extroverted person. I'm super introvert. Like the quarantine has been fantastic for me because I don't have to go anywhere and do anything or socialize except for this. But I also want to say, like, Melissa was the one going hard at me. As she was the one who kept putting suspicion on me, as well as on JoJo, and we know why now. So I mean, I had some suspicions on JoJo as well from the beginning, but now I'm sort of like, well, no, we got fooled by Melissa. I'll just say that. I mean, I don't know. I'm also just a vanilla villager as well, so I don't really have anything to offer as far as information or help. I mean, if you guys do kill me, it's not an important role.
How many vanilla villagers do we think have died?
How many werewolves died?
2 or
Two?
3 probably. I'm guessing.
2 werewolves died.
And we lost potentially our seer, or probably our seer.
Yeah, we lost.
Probably our seer or Gwommy. I mean, he never did. He say?
Oh, and we lost.
Gwommy was the hunter, and Adele was the optimist, obviously. So
Yeah.
Right. So
That
there's
would be-
like
And
3.
Lucas has said he's the baby dragon. So Frankenstein
by my count, 3 vanilla
might be
villagers
the
now.
hunter,
Yeah. Maybe.
possibly.
Unless, of course,
I just want to
based
say
on-
Chris is
Or they died
almost
before.
100%
Or they died
clear
before.
for me.
Why?
I don't want to say it, but
Okay.
I trust Chris very much.
I'm trustworthy.
So just
You
in
should
case
trust
I
me,
die,
Jojo.
believe what Chris says.
Well, let's put Doug up against Nige.
Sure.
I nominate Doug.
I second.
So Chris nominates Doug in just seconds. So we have our 2 candidates. So we'll roll it up. And IG is going to be down, which means Doug is up. So Doug is first to his.
Yeah, so I mentioned just earlier my suspicions of Cynthia and Nige. You know, this is the second time that the Gwommy Man has nominated someone, so one of these times, like, we got to try and figure out. I think JoJo now, the fact that they didn't go back means JoJo's clear. So, you know, the fact that they're using that nomination, I'm guessing they have some kind of information.
Right. So Nige, what's the...
Well, I mean, I'm a vanilla villager, so it isn't a massive loss if I'm gone. But we are down to so many people that it could potentially sway it one way or the other. However, and this is really important, if you must vote out one of us and we're both villagers, I really need to pay. So I would be perfectly fine with a break.
So Doug, you have nothing to say about yourself, only throwing Nige under the bus?
I'm just a plain villager as well, so, you know, it's, you know, again, this is one of the problems with the 2 people nomination. I think we've run into it a couple times where we've kind of picked 2 wrong people to nominate. So, but we got to kill one of us. But to me, you know, my gut is saying that if the Gwommy Man is nominating, they have to have some kind of information.
Okay, so let's have a vote. I'm going to you. And I will remind you that Doug is up, Nige is down, and we will vote in 3, 2, 1. I see 4 up and 4 down, which means nobody dies. So good night, everyone, and nobody died. Okay, that was interesting. It kind of shocked me as well when I just remembered it as So, I kind of can see someone's eyes. I don't know if you're frozen. I don't know if it's Lucas, are you frozen? No? Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So let's start with the bodyguard. So bodyguard, who do you want? Okay. So you can go to sleep. Then we're going to have the Gwommy man wake up. And we are going to randomize this. So you will have choice of top or bottom. Want to do that, and who do you want to do it to? Okay. Thank you. So we'll have some werewolves wake up. And who do you want to murderize? Okay. And finally, seer. Who do you want to see? Okay. So seer can go to sleep and everyone can wake up. Sadly though, that wasn't a good night because Paul, you made it far, but you are gone. And Paul was a villager. And let's see here. Today, nobody is immune. At a tie.
So Paul was suspicious because he didn't vote down on Naiji, but I guess he just didn't feel like that Naiji was more suspicious to him than Duck.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But Courtney and Cynthia are super suspicious for me now. Why did you protect Naiji?
I voted Doug because Doug has been calling me out, saying he's suspicious of me, as did Melissa. So I'm thinking they're both werewolves, and he's going along with her train of thought because she was coming at me pretty hard and saying that she suspected me. And now Doug, of course, if I'm already suspicious, I would be the perfect person to try to put more suspicion on and make you guys try to vote me out. So I'm suspicious of him. Naiji hasn't really said much, so I don't have much to garner from him.
Yeah, so my whole thing was I voted against Doug because I trust Chris for sure, and you, Lucas. And I don't know, I feel like there's been more suspicion thrown on him, and Naiji hasn't really said much. So I didn't feel like voting him out on nothing.
Talk about Naiji there. That's really bad.
I'm
Sorry.
just confused on how
I didn't hear him either.
we have the
What'd you
Gwommy man basically telling us who we probably should be nominating.
Yeah.
And both times with JoJo and Naiji, we haven't voted either of them out. Like, but clearly the fact that they didn't go back, that makes me feel better about one of them.
Well, the
So-
Gwommy man can't go back maybe on IG.
I'm thinking they nominated.
No, I think he said they can do anyone.
No. Joseph has 5 different abilities and he randomly chooses two.
But
They
if you
coulda
get
had-
nominated twice, like he could have used, like the Gwommy man could have said JoJo again. It's not like Joseph saying nominate X person. You get your choice of who to.
Yeah, that's
He
why
might have
Nigel
choose that
is very
ability.
suspicious.
He or she
Well, I
might have had the first night sleep and nominate, so they picked nominate and just picked JoJo because she had the most suspicion.
That could be true. Yeah.
I mean, it's a.
I mean,
Who knows?
I had suspicions on JoJo at the beginning as well, and I don't now. And I feel like that very well could have happened to whoever he is as well. Like just the fact that he didn't go back to her doesn't mean anything to me.
Because I don't know. What you're saying is you're assuming that Gwommy Man did the like C action or something on Naiji and then said nominate them. Is that what you're?
I think that's option number 1, and option number 2 is that they got nominate and kill, and
they didn't want to kill
not
somebody.
Nominate me, wanted to nominate anyone but me to say she's not bad, but I don't know what the heck is going on. So either they know Naiji's bad, or they don't know what's going on and just didn't want to kill someone. Is what I'm thinking.
So it's just like any game
That's
with
true.
the actual Gwommy in the game, where you don't know what's going on.
So Naiji, what do you want to say so we don't nominate you again?
I mean, I am a vanilla villager and I have no role, but I mean, again, I'm not a whole lot of help without very many suspicions. It is Doug and Cynthia, and because Doug did throw me under the bus quite badly, I would go back to Doug again. But again, I'm not much of a loss if I am killed.
We could put them
You know
both
what I
back
mean?
up
I
and
am
see what
just-
happens.
I'm
We
just a
can't try
villager.
again.
I'll
I
nominate
know
Naiji.
that, but
I second
So
Naiji.
Doug nominates Naiji, Lucas second, so we have our first candidate.
I'll nominate Doug. Let's get them all both up
Chris
there.
I'll
nominates
second
Doug, and Doug
What?
seconds himself. Okay.
Oh.
So let's roll it up. So Naiji, you will be the
Doug, why did you second
downvote.
yourself?
Because there's
Well, it's the same
one
as last
person.
time. Doug is up, Naiji is down, which means Doug starts with his defense.
It's going to happen anyway. I think it's good that we do it again. We had the tie vote, and my number one suspicion is Naiji right now because of the Gwommy Man.
Chris, what are you doing with the?
Counting.
Oh, okay.
Counting people.
Oh, okay.
Can we all agree who we're voting?
Naiji gets his defense first.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, I know I am a villager, and it is that way. It's
At
gonna
this
go.
point,
Which means when I die, you're going to make basically a new werewolf.
Let's see. If there's 3 werewolves left, we're doomed.
I
If we get
don't
this
think
wrong.
there's 3 werewolves.
Which would mean that
there
we're
are maximum of 2
5.
left.
Okay, that's
Like
fair.
that'd be 5 werewolves at the start. And
Yeah,
we know
I
there's no
don't
rabbit wolf.
think Joseph is so mean.
Have you met Joseph?
No.
No, he's not me. But-
So, Jojo, who are you thinking?
Right now, I'm most suspicious of Naiji.
Okay, so because of the Gwommy wolf, or
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, and you had like a defense that I was very suspicious of you, and then you had that defense, and I was like, that was pretty good. So I'm a lot less suspicious of you. And Chris, I would be suspicious of, but I'm trusting Lucas. And Courtney, she seems to have been making valid points, and I don't know how she typically plays because this is her first time. And then Doug, I don't know what we're talking about that he said that we all
I
were
forgot.
suspicious of. I didn't notice anything. So I guess just eliminating everybody else, I'm most suspicious of Naiji. But I do think, well, never mind.
I should really take better notes or notes in general.
Okay, so it sounds like it sounds because it's quiet. So it sounds like we're ready to vote, right? So I will mute you, and I will remind you, Doug is up, Naiji is down. So let's vote in 3, 2, 1. So it seems we have only Naiji wanting to kill Doug. The rest of you, Naiji. So Naiji is dead, and Naiji was a villager. So good night, everyone. All right. So let's start off as we always do with the bodyguard. So bodyguard, want to protect. Okay, then we will have the Gwommy Man. So I will show you these two, and you can go point up or point down. Okay, so Want to do that? So who do you want to do? Okay, yeah. So we will have werewolves wake up. And you already know what to do, so. Okay. Yeah. And then it's time for the seer. So seer, who do you want to see? Okay. Thank you. So, good morning, everyone. You can unmute yourselves. Except for Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. Gotta end sometime, and this is, have a good time at the, under the sand on the. So, Chris was also a villager.
So now I'm with 4 people who I don't trust. Great.
Okay.
Now Doug is immune as well.
Just a heads up, I have to go grab my charger real quick. So hold on one second.
So
This
Doug, yeah, let's Jojo speak first.
This doesn't have to happen, but I'm thinking if anyone who is not Lucas has a role, since there's only 3 of you left, because I know I'm good and I am really confident that Lucas is good. Like if they have a role, I think we should know what it is, because right now I feel like I'm incredibly unsure and I just would like a little bit of guidance.
I agree with Jojo.
I
If you have a
agree
role,
as well.
come out, please.
I was thinking the same thing.
So
Yeah,
Courtney,
Sorry about that.
we were saying that if you have a role, please come out now, because we are only 5 remaining and we need some confirmations about who is good and who's a maybe. So, Doug, Courtney, anything to say?
I'm just a villager. The only thing I can think of now is that Nige might have been a lichen then, and that's why they're going man again. Or JoJo's one of you have to kill or you have to nominate, and it's better to nominate than kill. So,
Courtney?
Well, the only person I trust for sure would be you, thinking that you're the baby dragon, because now that it's down to so few people, like we can just screw this up by killing somebody right now if we still think that there is more than one werewolf left. Well, I would assume that there would be. So I think like if I were going to order my suspicions, it might be, it's rough. It's like, it's pretty even between Cynthia, Doug, and JoJo, but maybe a little bit more on Cynthia just because it seems like she defends herself really hard. I don't know. There's not much to go on, really.
Well, so none of you want to come out with a role.
I don't have a role.
I don't have a role either, unfortunately.
So at least one of us is left, but
I think Connor was for sure the seer. I think the Frankenstein's already dead. And because we haven't really seen the effect of a Gwommy, I think they're already dead. Like,
so we only have the baby dragon left,
Well,
which is Lucas.
But
Then maybe.
Nige was nominated, so it was either him or Paul who was the Gwommy man.
well, Paul, when he was up against, I think it was Gwommy, or I could look back, I think. But he said something about like, oh, well, I do have something that I do.
yeah.
So he might have been.
I feel like there was 3 open roles that hadn't died and 2 of them died, but I am probably wrong because I feel like someone would have come out.
So what do we think, that the Frankenstein died before they even got a role then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So Lucas, what do you think? Because you're the one who we all trust.
Yeah, well, Melissa did suspect you and Cynthia, and usually a werewolf doesn't only suspect villagers, so I believe one of you 2 is a werewolf.
So do we put them both up then?
No, I don't think we. I mean, I'm biased, but I do think the argument about the Gwommy man having that much time in between nominating me and Nige and choosing that to make that second nomination not me, especially when Nige was a villager, I feel like that nearly confirms me. Obviously, I know that, doesn't mean everything, but yeah.
That's true. So Cynthia, you have more suspicion than Jojo.
I mean, at this point, I'm feeling like I trust you, Lucas, and I also trust Jojo. Like, unfortunately, she doesn't trust me, but I do trust her. So my suspicion still lies with Doug, just because he has called me out alongside Melissa. And then Courtney, I don't know much about. Like, I mean, I don't feel as much suspicion on Courtney because she seems to have been paying attention to like a lot of who said what and who did what at various days, which so I feel like that's usually something that a villager does. Unfortunately, we can't put Doug up this time since he's immune. So
yeah,
I say if you guys want to put me up, I'm just a vanilla villager, and then if I die, you go after Doug afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with Cynthia's that if I could nominate Doug, I would nominate him. Firstly, because he's usually a very good. No, you are usually a very good player, but in this game you didn't find out anything, which makes me suspicious. And Chris also suspected you.
Right, because is it safe to say now that he's dead, we already knew that Chris was the pessimist?
Yeah, Chris was the pessimist.
That's why I was like, okay, well, at least whoever he's suspicious of, I'm gonna look at a little bit.
Yeah. That's why
So
we're super.
we put up Cynthia and Courtney, hear defenses, and then decide who to vote. I definitely have an idea in my mind, but defenses.
That's fine.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
trust me,
And I just want to say, because I will probably 100% die this night because I'm the only remaining villager who is probably very true, that I would really suspect Doug.
Okay.
So
thank you.
If I had a vote, I would.
Yeah, I would too. I'm fine with you guys putting me up and taking me out this night, and then
and actually, we actually have
So I'll nominate
to kill
Cynthia then.
I was gonna say like we may as well because it can't be Doug, and I feel like Lucas is pretty trustworthy. So if it's not gonna be me, Cynthia's who I'm.
So Cynthia has been nominated. Is there a second for that?
No, second.
Okay. That's one candidate. Yeah.
I'll nominate Courtney.
Nomination of Courtney. Is there a second for that?
Yeah, second.
Okay. It up. Who is who? So Cynthia is the up vote, and Cynthia's up. Courtney is down, which means Cynthia starts with her speech here.
Okay, I mean, you guys heard me already. It's the same thing. You guys can go ahead and take me out, and then put Doug up. That's fine with me. If that's the plan, go for it.
So Courtney, what do you have to say to your friends?
I'm just a villager. Don't have any roles. I think honestly, it's just down to like whatever werewolf or werewolves are left and vanilla villagers. Since we couldn't go after Doug, then who I understand more people are suspicious of, the only other person I guess more than Jojo would be Cynthia. Also because of kind of the logic that Lucas was having of like, oh, if Melissa's gonna go after a couple of people, she might want to throw a werewolf in there to sort of make it seem like after she's gone that they're safe. So obviously if it's gonna be, I don't know what else to say. I'd rather just vote out Cynthia than myself, of course.
All right, so let's.
But it's down to the wire, so.
Have a vote. We'll mute you. And again, we have up for Cynthia and down for Courtney, who is not here. There you are. Okay, so let's. So up for Cynthia, down for Courtney in 3, 2, 1. So it looks like Cynthia has 4 votes. So sadly, Cynthia, you are dead. Cynthia was a villager. Let's go to the night. And as the night closes in, you see the baby dragon flying away from the village. He just got away barely because the werewolves have won. There's 2 werewolves, so you can all wake up. There's 2 werewolves and there's 2 villagers. So congratulations to the werewolves. And everyone can just, of course, jump back in again.
Good game.
Great job, Courtney.
You guys did so
Wow,
good.
Courtney. I never suspected you.
I'm sorry.
Let me just do
Okay.
the classic thingy here, where I go through the roles. So to start off, we had a villager called Jojo, who also was a lichen, but nobody checked Jojo, so that never came into play. We had the villager Cynthia. We had Alex S, which was a villager and also a lichen, which he died early, so the lichens never did anything in this game, but just having them there was fun. Gwommy was the hunter. Alex D was the bodyguard. Baby Dragon was Lucas. Then Gwommy Man was Paul. We had Nige as a villager. Melissa was the Gwommy Wolf. And she got to choose between being a werewolf hunter and a wolf man, and she chose wolf man, which was fun because Paul checked her the first night and got the villager. Then we had Doug as a werewolf, Adam as a werewolf, Courtney as a werewolf. Ayahu was the Frankenstein who became the bodyguard, but he died, I think, like right away. And Chris was a pessimist. You need to cheer up, Chris. You were voting down all the time. And Adele was a really happy guy. He was just voting up all the time. So that was the rules. And now we can discuss the setup here.
Very well played, Courtney.
Yeah, good job.
I saw werewolf
should
in
be
my
ashamed.
chat, and I was like, no, not on my first game.
That's what, man. I saw Gwommy Wolf and I was like, oh man, I suck as a wolf. Everyone always picks me.
Yeah.
So I want to
But
say
also
that
being the wolf.
I left all my information out to you guys. I didn't hold anything back. You guys got all the information that I had. So there's nothing I was not keeping from you.
Okay.
It's also kind of nice when you're new because nobody wants to kill you. Nobody wants to check you.
Yeah.
I checked
Not to say that you didn't do an incredible job.
I checked Alex the first night, and then he died pretty quickly, so it didn't matter. I checked Yahoo the second night, and I got it. He wasn't bad, so I was trusting Yahoo, especially because he was fumbling around so much. I was like, he's good. He's not a werewolf.
Yeah.
Then I checked Adam, and I had to wait. That's the thing. This game was super hard to be the seer because you just don't know if they're good or not. But I listened to Adam, and I just didn't trust anything he was saying after that. And then I checked Gwommy, and I knew Gwommy was good, and I trusted Gwommy at that point. So I was beating a werewolf when I nominated Gwommy, and I just so
Well
happened
done.
that time. That was
Yeah,
that's the only information I had was all those people, and everyone else died every time I checked them. So
I think
Actually,
the game.
it was-
I think the game really shifted just by saying, like, there was 2 lichens, but just saying that you don't know how many lichens there are, just that little thing changes up. the game
No,
quite a bit.
yeah, and I never
Well-
believed that you would put 4 werewolves in
I
it.
figured there were probably 2.
I
because
thought there
any
was
more than
4.
2 would be too much.
Oh.
Yeah, I
I
thought
think
so
it was
as
the
Because usually 25% of the players should be werewolves.
I just thought Joseph said that he didn't include a different role because it was already stacked to the werewolves, and I was like, 3 wouldn't be that stacked, but it didn't matter because I thought Cynthia was one of the last 2. But
I thought I had stacked it like this. I thought the villagers had a little bit of an edge, but I don't know. I mean, it's also
was-
very random, right? How it's
the tie vote that we had there towards the end. That was, I think, the real big turning point because
Yeah.
we get to kill one more villager. Then I get to use the defense of Nige being nominated by
Yeah.
the Gwommy man.
Yeah, but
And then I was
Well, in that
protected.
night, Doug, Paul checked you, and then you guys killed him before he
Yeah.
could tell everyone. So I was like, yeah, wolves.
Yeah, I was
Well-
gonna say it was really interesting being the Gwommy man just because I couldn't like count on which powers I would get, so I did see Night 0 and I checked Melissa because I wanted to know how much time I had left in the game. But he said good, and I was like, okay, but maybe Wolfman, so I'm just gonna keep that in the back of my mind and not fully trust her. And then nominate and kill came up at the same time, and I was like, well, I'm not sus, so I just picked JoJo because I didn't have sus of anyone, and she was the only one that people were kind of suspicious on. Sorry about that. And then nominate and kill came up again, so I picked Naidi just because I forgot that you were in the game until I was looking to see who I should nominate. And then then I picked Doug, and then I was like, okay, if I survive the night, I'm coming out right now, and then I died. So.
It was.
unfortunate.
I'm surprised that Jojo made it. Like everyone was on to you early, and I was like, "You're gonna get checked soon, and you're the Lycans." I was like, "No, he's not."
I was hoping. I defended Jojo early. Well, I accused her early, but then I defended her. I was hoping, like, all right, hopefully my defense saves her, and hopefully that means they think I checked her. But nobody even brought it up, so it didn't matter.
Well, that's why I started not saying JoJo anymore once you kind of defended her there. And then you also
Paul,
mentioned
you should
Adam.
have told us that you nominated Nige because
And
we really
why?
believe that
That would
Gwommy
help.
man.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really ready to come out because I had no actual useful information besides the fact that this is my role, but I knew that the werewolves were probably going to take me out, and I wanted to maybe get one C in before I died.
It was kind of fun as well because when Connor came out, you got protect. So both the real bodyguard and the Gwommy man protected Connor on the same night.
Yeah, I
so
thought-
it's obviously useless. But...
Yeah, I was hoping that you guys wouldn't do that. And this is a Yahoo. Here's my reasoning. Ready? I wanted to be suspicious. I wanted the werewolves to not kill me and think, oh, everyone's going to think Connor's a werewolf. And that was a free night to not have to protect me. Like I was
problem
planning
with
on
being
that.
suspicious is that we suspect you.
Yeah, but listen, I was okay with that because I
Yeah,
had
that's fine.
I had a defense. I was going to be able to walk my way out of that.
Well, the other problem with being on a team with people is like, you don't know if we know what you're thinking. Like,
Yeah, that's the
Right.
thing, You shouldn't
Yeah,
be too
I had a
suspicious.
defense too, so I was fine being suspicious.
Because there's only like 3 to 4 werewolves and like 10 villagers.
But again,
you should have the villagers on your side.
And you guys killing me wasn't the end of the world. I'm telling you, the seer was very, very weak in this game. Very.
No,
That
you
was
found out Adam, and I think Adam would have survived longer. If
You know what
hadn't come
else
out.
helped us a lot was the baby dragon. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying something else that helped out the werewolf team a lot was like the fact that the baby dragon, because you came out like immediately and we tried to kill you night one. So I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, there's one person at least I can always kind of try and agree with. You know what I mean? Like it kind of put you out there as like you were good, but it
Actually,
also
night
gave other
one-
people somebody to latch onto and be like, oh yeah, I agree with you.
I
And you
protected
were-
myself night one,
Yeah.
and when nobody died, I was like, oh, did they target me already? But then
I
Lucas came out
promised you I
with the-
wouldn't.
I thought that too. I
Promise.
protected myself night one too.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
surprised you didn't kill anyone, Paul. You had 2 chances to kill. But...
I had no suspicion. I didn't want to nominate like that because nominate and kill came up at the same time, and I was like, I'm not sus of anyone. So
you
I chose
were
nominate.
sort of Gwommy man light because if
Jojo,
Gwommy had
you're
gotten
muted.
it, he would have killed people for sure.
Killed everyone.
Well, I mean,
And
the two
nominate
people
almost is
nominated
really
were
kill.
good, so it's good that I didn't pick kill.
Yeah.
But I must ask you all guys, the whole system. I never played.
Oh,
with
I
this,
loved
obviously.
it. I
You
really
like
loved
this,
it.
or-
Yeah, it was great.
I love
I
that.
do have
cool.
one critique, which is that I like the nominate and then vote, and then the 2 people that get the most votes better, because everybody like it was really hard to know who to nominate second, but it's a lot less stressful to be like, well, I'm voting on 5 different people and we'll see where it goes, because then you're not like responsible and the person that's most suspected ends up being. And I would like say free nominations for 6 minutes and then we'll vote on them, which doesn't take long because you're just going through it.
I was
And then-
thinking about we could, instead of having 2, you could have 3 people, so you have 3 candidates each day. Another thing I was thinking.
I like it a lot.
Okay,
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it
I
was
will
Jojo.
say
I was
this,
really weird with it.
I wanted to say this, but I also didn't want to put targets on people's back. Like I knew who Adele was and I knew who Chris was. And it was
Yeah.
actually good to have an optimist and a pessimist in this game. And here's why.
Oh yeah.
Those were 2 people I knew were good. I knew they weren't Lycans, so I could trust everything they were saying. I could check JoJo and get, yes, she's good, but I can't trust that she's good. Like Chris and Adele, I knew for a fact were good because of the way they were voting. And I was hoping you would pick up
But
on
you
Adele.
didn't know Adele till he spoke out because he only
Right,
had
right.
one
No, I
vote.
did not until
Yeah.
I was ready to kill Adele that night until he said that.
Because I honestly didn't think about the whole how to vote when I came up with the pessimist and optimist. So another thing we could have done instead is that you could have like if you have 2 or 3 candidates, you could vote for each one separately, up and down like we usually do, and then whoever gets the most votes is dies. That way
I think
you-
it's more stressful
Oh.
to like
Really?
have to choose between one person and another person because it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I,
Because then trying to defend who you chose,
Well, the
it's harder.
information you get is kind of different too. Is you never know what somebody's thinking in terms of like who they thought was more suspicious. So it kind of puts a new spin on the info that you get.
Yeah.
I like the idea that like I didn't obviously want to be nominated because I was the seer, but like I like that I get to choose who I go up against. Like I could nominate somebody and say, hey, here's who I'm going to go up
Yeah,
against.
did anyone ever do that? I was expecting that to happen. Where people
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Well, I kind of did that at the end when after we had the tie vote, and I even second myself because I wanted to be up against Nige. I
mean,
wanted
as
him
I
to get
said,
voted out, and I wanted the protection.
Yeah, I stuck by what I said. As soon as he did it, I was like, he's clearly going for the immunity.
I think the
Yeah.
immunity maybe is too good.
Yeah,
Doug was
like-
immune in that last round.
Well, I realized too
that
once
made it
we
rough.
got Cynthia nominated, if JoJo wasn't so quick on doing the nomination, Courtney and I just had to nominate JoJo.
Yeah.
And
That's what we
with
were
5
saying
people, we were
Discord.
guaranteed to win because it's going to be a 3-2
Yeah, that
vote
was-
no matter what.
because we didn't like we didn't think you were gonna have seconds at all. So we were like, if Doug and Courtney just each say somebody really fast, then the round's done.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
usually in final
That's
six,
why I would
True.
say that there should be, like what Yahoo said, a little bit more time. So maybe you could get 3 or 4 nominations because otherwise the werewolves can just
Yeah.
take over the nomination process
yeah.
at the end.
If you have multiple, if you have more than 2 nominees or candidates, then you can't really make anyone immune, right? Because you can't
Right.
make
Right.
every So
Mhm.
the
And you could
immunity
even
thing
have-
is,
the
it's
immunity
not
thing
I would
is
just
good
make
early
the
on, but
two
late
on the
game
chopping
it's
block
really
immune.
powerful. So maybe you could do immunity like in the first until a certain number.
Yeah.
Because early on it's fine, but late game it's like so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, it was.
Yeah, I think having
immunity
3
did-
people would be good.
Immunity
And then you
did
could do
save Doug,
rock,
but I
paper,
would have
scissors.
never suspected Courtney.
Doug,
Sorry,
you were the
Gwommy and
next-
JoJo for my bad reads. I should just never suspect JoJo for being a contrarian. She does that in every game.
JoJo is very confusing, yeah.
I know, Jojo, I felt so bad for going so hard on you, but it was the only thing I had to latch onto in the beginning, and then you got nominated by the Gwommy man, and I was like, I'm sticking with Jojo.
I backed off JoJo. I backed off JoJo pretty quickly after I had nominated her the first round.
I would have
I
backed off
defended her
if
from
I'd,
day one.
woke up at, not been dead. But
Well, I knew you were dying that night, Alex. I forget what was the reason. There was a person that you were like going after.
I was going after Gwommy.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, you're dead because they're gonna
Yeah.
try and set Gwommy up here.
I figured.
Yep, that's what I thought.
That's not why though. I was gonna kill Alex from day one, but because my initial list I had Alex, Chris, and Lucas. Those were my 3 because they're the ones that can call me out.
Alex S or Daily?
Daily. I had
Okay.
Daily on there. Alex S had already died, so
Yeah.
so I had those 3, and they picked Lucas the first time, and then they picked Daily. So I was going after him no matter what. Plus, he always wins when he's a villager when he makes it to the end. So he has a
Hey,
streak.
my
going.
streak still survives. I
Mine
died
too.
and
2 of
lost.
14.
Oh God, Gwommy.
you even
I
got your
also-
own village and everything.
That night, that night that I
Yeah.
knew Adam was a werewolf.
Hey, at least I took out my wolf self.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was like, it's Melissa. She seconded. It's definitely her.
Yep.
My
I
streak
am
of
the
only
worst
getting
wolf.
lynched
Like I
by
never know what to do.
very much ended.
40%
Yeah.
suspicion on me and my own village. I can't believe it.
Unfortunately, Paul, I would have killed you over Gwommy because I knew Gwommy was good. But then once Melissa came out like that and Gwommy said he was the hunter, I was all right. This is perfect. This is the exact area we
Well, I
want.
thought I should second him because I had said I was a little suspicious of him earlier. So I was like, well, if I second him, then at least,
Perfect. I got myself a target.
Also, like I got a little upset that Joseph said there was no rabbit wolf. If you notice, I was nominating every single person trying to find me a wolf
Yes.
to turn into.
Adam pointed that
You
out.
were the
Yeah.
seer,
Yahoo
man.
was
You're not
saying-
supposed to turn.
Well, Yahoo at some point turned on you, Connor, and was like, "Oh, he's a little suspicious." I was gonna be like, "Well, he is trying to get himself involved in every one of the nominations." Like
This
I
is
was
one more reason why I didn't tell you who was good and who wasn't good, just in case I turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, Connor.
It was kind of
makes you even more
Good play.
suspicious.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. If, like I said, if you want to get involved in Werewolf and other social deduction games, just search on Facebook for Dice Tower Werewolf, and you can join the very growing group there and jump into various games. Thank you to all the folks who participated in this video and recorded it and sent it to us to put up here on the Dice Tower. Until next time, I'm Tom Bass, and you've been watching Werewolf on the Dice Tower.